on a Neverwinter is because I'm waiting for them to release the Warlock.
Mm. That's coming soon. I think it's going to drop with Tyranny of Dragons.
It's supposed to, I think, yeah.
Which there's two parts of me right now. There's the one ultra greedy, need to get my hands on it part, and it's the other frugal, penny pincher, old man part. And for the player's handbook.
Mm.
So it doesn't officially come up for like another 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
But there's this website, what is it? Indigo.
Mm-hmm.
It's from Canada. That they're selling it for $29, free shipping. And they still have the technical release date of was like August 17th or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's people online, like one guy posted on Reddit today that he ordered his yesterday from Indigo and it came in the mail today.
What?
Yes.
Well then.
So, but I'm like, do I? At the same time, it's like the August is the horror month for me and Amanda because like this is the last month before she actually gets a paycheck.
Right.
So we're like, it's like, I guess I can wait. But I mean, I'm not going to be using the handbook for a while anyway, so.
True, and $50 for a handbook, that's steep.
Well, that's if you buy it in the store. But if you buy it on Amazon or through Indigo, it's only $30.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah. That's why I had a big moral dilemma because I was like, I want to support my local game store, but I want to save $20.
Yeah, exactly.
Saving $20 means more to me than supporting them.
Yeah, supporting your local anything is really nice. Being able to support yourself at the end of the day is even better.
Exactly.
Yeah, no kidding. That's like fantasy play territory, $50 for a book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, seriously.
If you starve to death, then you won't be able to buy any more books.
Right? See, there you go.
So what you have to do is you have to become a godling, and then you have to evolve to the point where you don't need to imbibe food or water anymore.
Oh, there you go. Or I can just buy a ring of sustenance.
Oh, touche, but it takes a week for it to kick in, at least.
That's a good point. And I'll also probably have to max out a credit card in order to afford one. So.
It's been so long since we've had them, I don't even remember how much they used to cost.
Either.
Yeah, but then after that, you'd save so much on food.
That is a really good point. You have to think of the upfront cost in correlation to the overall savings.
Well, and it only cost 1,000 gold, so that's not that much.
2,500 actually.
2,500 gold?
Yeah.
That 3.5 or Pathfinder?
Pathfinder. Not sure about 3.5. I just checked D20.
All right.
Yeah, John. I don't know if we told you too much about our first campaign, but the very first character I played with these guys was a cleric who one of his flaws was that he had a craving for raw meat, like bloody meat.
Oh, jeez.
But it was completely bypassed by the fact that he was wearing a ring of sustenance.
Easy workaround, I guess.
Indeed. Which I think would have been kind of funny, considering that he was a cleric, like a good cleric.
Right.
I think it would just be interesting seeing him, like, feasting on, like, fresh flesh.
Chasing down rabbits. Come here, come here!
All right, so you want to hear something?
Go ahead. Yeah. Something real quick?
You can.
What's up?
He is no longer wearing a ring of sustenance.
Who? Dorian?
The first cleric that you ever played.
A.K.A. Dorian.
Correct.
A.K.A. Dorian.
Right.
Yeah,
so
but he's
saying once we come back from the dead...
He's reached a higher plane of existence now.
So now he likes veal and not just any...
Exactly. High-end raw meat.
Right?
So I just did a little math. Well, not really. But so you said that the Ring of Sustenance is 2,500 gold?
According to the D20 PFSRD site, yes.
All right. And right now, And so going back, it looks like a gold coin is about an ounce of gold.
Mhm.
Right now, the price per ounce for gold is $1,314, which means that a ring of sustenance would cost $3,285,000.
You are correct. Yes.
So I don't have that money.
That is way more money than I will spend on food for the rest of my life.
That is more money than I will ever make in my lifetime.
And I only get like 2 hours of sleep a night anyway, so it's really, yeah, that's a net loss.
Hardcore.
I am back.
Yeah, well, I saw the bark. And I
Okay,
heard the
all right.
sitar music.
It's just a guitar.
I know, but it's fun. It's more fun to say that it's a sitar.
Alfred began playing the sitar since he's been in the Middle East.
You got to
He
fit in
truly
somehow.
adopted the culture. Yes.
Grew the beard, started playing the sitar. Oh.
So, my boss, he's been meeting random people since he's been here,
That's fun.
and yeah, he's been using, I believe, what is considered a hookup app to just meet random people throughout the city.
That can
Something
be
called
dangerous.
yeah. It's mostly like British, Australian, American expats who actually
okay.
use it.
Okay, I gotcha. So it's not like literal random people, but
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And he found a gaming group, and they play different board games twice a week. And he mentioned that I'm part of the Dragon Fisters, and that we have a podcast. And they were like, "Really? That's really cool. What is it? Tell us about it." So I think he's going to end up giving him and the others our information, and they might start listening to the podcast.
that's awesome.
Nice.
Cool.
Look at that. We're slowly becoming almost kind of near the point of semi-internet fame.
Hey, we
Now
have
we just
one
need to get-
confirmed listener in Canada.
What was that?
Nice.
We have one confirmed listener in Canada.
Really?
Yeah, that Nicole that I voice act with.
Oh, hey, there we go.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, we actually, there's a podcast that I actually just started listening to because of this, called The Whiskey Brothers.
Nice.
And they reached out to D&D UI that does like the D&D webcomics and all that, and articles and things like that.
Mhm.
And they said, hey, any RPG podcasts that you would recommend? And D&D UI shot back with listen to Major Spoilers and the Dragon Fisters.
Nice.
That's cool.
Also, me and our stalker Animite
Mhm.
are in a title battle right now on Twitter.
Oh, I saw that.
So he and Amanda has given me tons of ammunition back.
Nice.
Yeah. So he posted. I don't know if you guys saw, but he posted a picture of two iguanas on lounge chairs, and he said that there was a Francesco sighting, and that he's trying to sell the story to a producer, and I shot back with something like, "There's no way that he can sell the rights and not cut us into it. That we definitely we need a part of Two Lizards alone when he sells it off." And he shot back with, "Oh, you mean Lizard of Oz?" And so
God.
I told Amanda, I was like, "Quick, come up with movie or book titles that put lizard in the title of it," and she just started rattling off so many. I'm like, all right, write these down or go on Twitter and finally use your account and say them, because I cannot do this fast enough. Like, that's what I get for asking an English teacher for book titles. Ooh, a link. I like links. I've never seen this movie.
It's a Mike
Not
Myers movie. It's watchable, but it's by no means memorable.
Mm.
I looked at some sitars over here.
Oh, really?
And
I can imagine you did.
they are strange.
How so?
Just playing them. It's very. Well, I have little hands. I'll put it that way.
Mm.
Do you smell like cabbage?
Sometimes.
Nice
I
reference.
also just read in that thread that Kelly posted that was full of sadness that Mike Myers is a huge twat.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
Apparently, if you look at him on set, he will have you immediately fired. Like,
Oh, nice.
look him in the eye like a bird of prey or any alpha creature,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Oh,
he
he's
sees
an
you as a
asshole.
threat.
Oh, who was?
I heard that about Hall & Oates, too. Now, how they could get away with anything like that at this stage in their career is beyond me, but apparently it happened to like a friend of a friend kind of thing. Saw him, had like a backstage pass kind of thing, and they just like started freaking out. They're like, "Don't look at me!"
What?
You pal, kidding me?
Wow. No, that was Nathan Lane was in Boston for a theater show a while back. So when Amanda was still working with the theater company, and I guess he treated the entire staff of the theater like crap, and they were supposed to have a student performance in the afternoon. And when he realized how early the show was, which was 11 o'clock, he refused to do it. He didn't want to wake up that early.
They have priorities.
Right.
What a douchebag.
Yeah. So they ended up, and the kids didn't even know. He ended up canceling the day before, so they had to have a stand-in, and like everybody paid all this money. And granted, they discount student tickets, but it was still like $40 a kid. And I was like, really, dude? You can't wake up like at 9 one day? Yeah. But yeah, apparently he was also just an Uber tool to nearly everybody around him. It's kind of
Now for the
upsetting.
good.
Right. It's kind of hard.
Bill Murray, cool. No, I don't want to talk about Nathan Lane. He's mean.
Did you guys see Bill Murray on Letterman? Was it last night? I think. He was.
I didn't know.
He was doing his bucket list of things that he wanted to do before Letterman left. So it was pretty funny. He'd just randomly come on the set and start like listing stuff off on his. He's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about this one," and he's like, "Oh, all right." He was pretty funny. Unfortunately, Lady Gaga was the musical guest.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
That ruined the whole show.
You remember when she used to wear meat suits and all that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think it's too far off.
No, it's not. But her art director at the time, I guess one of the guys that I went to my Army journalism training, apparently he was hanging out with her art director for a while last time I was down at school. So if I just networked properly, I mean, I could do something like that.
Ooh, there you go.
Design meat suits, but it would be more like a churro suit. I think I'd go for. Just sounds more delicious.
It does. I need a churro suit.
Exactly. I think that's probably the issue, is that everyone would eat the churro suit.
That's a really good point. Like, nobody wants to eat a meat suit.
Nope.
Like, that's... First off, it's raw meat. And second of all, like, it goes bad quickly.
So usually you have to pay extra for that.
It's
Oh.
Ew. All right. Well, on that note, do you guys want to start?
Oh, are we gonna what?
Well, it's been our customary half hour of talking about absolutely nothing. So yeah,
Exactly.
let's get to the gameplay.
Right.
Should I stop playing solitaire then? I guess.
You can keep going.
Multitasking.
Yep.
Probably sign into Obsidian Portal so I can see my character.
Nah.
Oh, speaking of Jesse, I didn't update. Like I didn't remove all the gear and stuff, and the XP I think might be a. I have XP on my sheet, which I think is a close approximation of where we are.
Okay.
I don't know how accurate it is anymore.
Well, see, this one was easy because you guys I believe you just dropped down to base level 4 or whatever level you were.
Right.
And then we added in our RPXP.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to go back and double check it.
Did I give you guys XP from last session?
I
don't
think
believe so.
Oh, alright. I might just throw you like a huge bulk XP after this whole thing.
Yay.
So.
I like bulk XP.
Yeah, I know you like bulk.
Yeah.
XP.
Yeah, I do.
Let's see how many times we can say that with with the biggest breath in between the two words. Yeah. XP wasn't too much from last session anyway. 200. So there you go.
200?
200.
Alright.
And then, depending on how tonight goes, you might either get XP for tonight or for tonight and the following session. So, depends on where we end.
Fair enough.
Alright, so we ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Alright. Do we have Bessie?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm here. I was just looking up the XP to change it while it was on my mind.
Look at that.
So it looks like 6,000 is what we're sitting at.
Sure. Now you're sitting at 6,200.
Plus RPXP.
Plus RPXP.
Cool.
Yay, maths. Alright, so last time, after waking up from your fresh graves and making a way out of the little ravine, you traveled across the wastes of Latherna, and you ran into a swarm of shadowy rat creature things that were also promptly eaten by a swarm of shadowy bird things. Eventually, you made it to the south side with the mountain, and you scaled the mountain, and when you made it to the plateau, you were greeted by the illusion of a woman who basically said, do these things at these places, and then we'll see what we can do after that. So you guys began to make your way. You came to a temple where y'all pricked your bodies on some thorns, and a bunch of paths lit up afterwards, came into view, and a light glowed off in the distance. And at that point, you asked the monks for some direction, and they pointed you east, I believe. I
think that's what it was.
I'm going to open up my map very quickly.
Monk points to the east.
There you go. Look at you.
Wait, I mean, you take notes?
I always take notes.
That's some bullshit.
How could you play and not take notes?
You cheater.
This is why we forget where caravans are, Jonathan.
Right?
Hey, I didn't forget what the caravan was.
Okay.
I wasn't paying attention enough to know in the first place.
I didn't forget where the caravan was. I convinced myself that I didn't know.
Hey, my character wasn't paying attention, so I wasn't. I'm just putting that out there.
There you go. That way you don't metagame.
Exactly, sir.
You know, if it was ever released as a memoir, the notes would just be all the cool stuff that Galen does and wouldn't say anything about you guys at all.
Nice.
And some weird thing gave me alcohol today. It was one of the ones I've been traveling with, but he looked slightly sharper.
What, like he was better dressed?
Oh, he was better dressed, yeah.
He had pants on.
Which is an improvement. All right. Yep. So you guys traveled east. All right, and back to the notes. All right. So at this point in time, you are traveling east down a path from one of the temples. So I'm guessing that you guys and now we've already established that you're not tired, you're not really hungry, all those kind of things. Also, there doesn't seem to be really a day-night cycle here. It's just always this kind of continual, just before dusk type lighting atmosphere with a haze in the sky and fog all around you. So, very, very doom and gloom type situation as you were. All right. So you are heading east, walking down a magical pathway. Is there anything that you would like to do while you're walking down the path? Do, say, convey, discuss?
I think Galen would just be kind of on the lookout for any weird creatures, shadow rats, shadow birds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just walking around with the stick and nothing else. It's, you know, it's just kind of probably not conversating too much, but, you know, just kind of keeping a wary eye.
Right on. Anybody else?
Pretty much just like watching for anything that's, I guess, stranger than what we've encountered so far.
All right. So basically nothing.
Yeah, for the most part.
Leo's going to start collecting small rocks as they're walking.
Okay. There will be small rocks to find.
Okay. Cool.
Are they shadow rocks?
Ooh.
No.
Are they ghost touch rocks? That'd be fun.
Technically, isn't anything in an incorporeal plane ghost touch?
Yes.
So there you go.
Awesome.
Marmalek?
He's going to walk and be deep in thought, thinking about how they ended up here instead of at the library.
Very nice. All right. So you are walking along, and as you do, this path that you're on kind of does wind and break left or right occasionally. It's by no means a straight path. This does, very snake about, but it's still very easy enough to follow. And it does kind of generally point you in the easterly direction anyway. So you are traveling for probably a couple of hours, give or take, when almost suddenly the mist in front of you breaks. Almost there's no subtle transition to it or anything. It's like, you walk and suddenly there's just a wall of mist behind you, and enclosed within this area is just clear air. And in the middle of this area of clear air, you see another temple. The near side, the side closest to you, is in ruins, while the far side is still in pristine condition. Right now, you're looking at a plaza surrounding a temple. The plaza is roughly paved with a channel of water that cuts through the area and actually cuts it in half. And you can see that on either side of the channel there are two large stone pools. one to the northern corner, to the northwest corner, and another to the southeast corner that feed the channel.
Thinking back to the first temple we encountered,
Mm-hmm.
when we approached it, which side was the old side?
The left side.
Okay, so if I'm picturing this correctly, and I'm dictating this to the group as well. If I'm picturing this correctly in my head, any part of the buildings facing behind us, going off in that direction, is somehow old and degraded, and everything on the opposite side seems to be new and pristine. Anyone else, agree, disagree?
I'll look up, kind of like surprised, like he's concentrating so much on looking for something to jump at. It's almost like he doesn't realize that we're standing in a new thing. So when you say he kind of looks up and he looks back over and he goes, "Do you mean the temple?" Like he has no idea what you're talking about.
Exactly. It seems like any of the buildings that have a westward-facing wall, or at least are on the westward half of the area they're situated in, seem to be old and dilapidated, while the other side seems to be new and in fairly good shape.
So Galen looks back at you, he looks back at the temple, he licks his finger and he holds it up to the air like he's testing for like wind or direction. He looks back the way they came to go look at the other temple, which is no longer there because it's covered in mist. He goes, "Yeah, I don't know, maybe."
Well, thank you, Galen. And with that, I'm just going to sigh and continue on toward the temple.
I look at Leo and Marmalek and I just shrug and I'm like, well.
All right. So anybody who would actually, you know what? Because Agnum is, or Dorian, I'm going to do that forever.
Yep. You and everyone else.
Right. Because Dorian is in front, leading the pack, so to speak. Why don't you go ahead and give me a perception check?
Oh, crap. I'm going to raise my crit of the night, 24.
There you go. So as you begin to walk a little bit closer to the temple, you can hear from inside of the courtyard, from inside the walls, that there is chanting. And it's very low, kind of bass sound, bass pitch. So only kind of really listening for it does it stumble upon your ears.
So, like Gregorian chanting?
Yes, very
Nice.
similar.
All right. Anyone else hear that?
If you point at it, do we need to make checks, or if he points it
No,
out?
once he kind of points it out, you'll be able to hear it.
Yeah, it sounds like they're humming.
Indeed. I mean, hopefully we won't be disturbing them, but I have a feeling they're going to be as helpful as the first group was.
At least these guys are making noise, right? The other guys didn't even say anything, did they?
Very little when they actually did speak.
Well, maybe this is a step in the right direction. By the time we get to the third or the fourth temple, maybe we'll actually be able to talk to somebody.
That would be nice, but... Well, let's find out either way.
Random, but what color is the water in like the pools and in like the river and everything?
It's clear.
Okay, good to go. That's all I
It's
get.
black like your soul. No.
Yeah, that's what I was nervous about.
No, it's a very, very clear, fresh water.
Okay. All right, I'll just follow them to the temple then.
All right. So as you guys begin to walk, then you kind of have to now. Where did my picture go? So as you're walking, there's not so much there's a small temple in the middle of this area that the channel seems to kind of run underneath and through. And when you go into the temple area, you will see that there's a handful of monks just kind of sitting there, kneeling and praying.
Are they praying toward anything in particular in the room, or?
No, they all kind of have their own small shrines, or not necessarily every one of them has an individual shrine, but there are a few shrines set up in the area that they are facing towards and praying to.
Okay. Are the shrines all like uniform? Could we tell if they belong to the same deity, perhaps?
Yeah, they're definitely all Raven Queen.
Okay, I figured. All right.
Kind of see the bird motif and all that.
All right.
Does the channel seem to go like straight through it and continue on the other side?
Yeah, while there is a bridge that spans the middle of it that's within the temple. You can see just barely that the channel actually does run underneath the temple and underneath the small bridge to go to both sides.
All right. Are any of the monks facing the water?
No, only because the like I said, the water is underneath you basically. So none of them are praying directly to the water.
Okay. Good to go. Are they all dressed the same?
Yes. They are dressed exactly the same as the monks that you saw at the first temple.
That was my question.
So there's no way to indicate like who might be like the head monk or like the pivotal figure of this temple?
No, not particularly.
Okay.
I'm assuming we all stop as we get closer and we're checking stuff out. I just look up at Dory and say, do you think we should interrupt them? Or I mean, the other ones weren't very didn't seem like they wanted to be bothered.
Well, it seemed as though the first ones wouldn't be bothered until we did interrupt them, so I have a feeling that's going to be our only course of action for these ones as well.
Okay, well, go ahead then. We'll keep an eye on you from here.
With your... Oh, you don't have your stick anymore. Okay, that's fine. And I'm going to just start walking into, like, kind of like the back, but the middle of the group where the monks are.
Mm-hmm.
And just start speaking loudly, saying that we're here to face the next challenge as was indicated to us. What is our task?
Yeah. And one of the monks does stand up, and he walks over to Agnum and gestures for him to follow.
Okay, I'm going to look over my shoulder at the others and like flick my head like, come with me.
All right. So he basically just walks over to one of the shrines. And now these are about, say, 3 by 3. Handful of candles placed on top of them, burning kind of this whitish blue flame. And like I said, bird effigy all over the place. And he kneels down in front of it, and he actually opens the front, so it almost opens like a cabinet. And he pulls out an object and closes the cabinet back up, stands up, turns to you, and hands you a rolled piece of linen. It's probably about 2.5 or so feet wide.
All right. I'm gonna look at the linen. Like, does it feel like there's anything inside of it?
No, it's just literally a bolt of linen, basically.
Okay, so I'm going to look at the
It
monk.
feels very soft when you touch it, though.
Okay. I'm going to look at the monk. And what exactly am I supposed to do with this?
And he kind of just, turns and moves a little bit closer to you. And he whispers, "It is for after."
I'm going to whisper back, after what?
After.
We would not want you to catch cold.
Thank you. Do you have ones for the rest of them?
If they wish to participate, then yes.
At which point I'm going to just put my head back so I can yell to the rest of them. All right, guys, come grab your linens for after.
Oh, okay. Well, it's better than not having anything at all.
Leo's gonna yell back, after what?
After.
Thanks.
He said they were so we wouldn't be cold.
Oh, great. We get to jump in the river. Yeah, sure. And I'm gonna walk over.
All right. So if you walk over, he kneels in front of the altar, then opens it up, pulls out a few more bolts of linen, and hands it to the rest of you.
Yeah, I accept it.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna take it.
And once he hands them to you, he hands it and gives you, a slight bow of the head. And then once he's handed them all out, he gives you all a deeper bow, and then goes back to his spot for meditation.
All right. So, Leo, what did you say that you thought we had to do?
Well, if he wants us to get warm afterwards, I'm guessing we have to get cold first. So my guess is we gotta go in the river. Or in one of the pools that we passed.
Well, we should check all of those out just to be on the safe side first.
Okay. I'm gonna shoot actions to wares, and I'm just gonna walk towards the channel and see how deep it is, see if there's anything in the bottom of it.
Nope, you can clearly see the bottom. Like I said, this water is very clear. And the channel seems to be about 10 feet deep.
But nothing really special at the bottom at all.
Nope, you just see the stone, that it's carved from and everything.
Alright, well, there's nothing here. I should probably go check out the pools. See if there was anything in them.
Call it a hunch, but just be careful on the one that's facing towards the west.
Okay. Is it gonna attack me?
Well, it appears to be on the side where everything is old. So who knows if the water's contaminated, if there's something in it that could harm you. Who knows?
Okay. And I'm gonna walk to the one he's not talking about.
All right, so the one to the southeast.
Yes.
All right. So you take a walk over there, and in this pool, again, the water is nice and clear, and it is actually rung. It's a square pool, but it is rung with a set of stairs. So if you were to go to a pool, it just kind of has a staircase built into it out of stone going down into the pool itself. And this looks to be a little bit more shallow. It's probably only about 5 or 6 feet deep as opposed to the 10 feet of the channel.
Alright, still see the bottom of it and everything?
Correct.
Anything in it?
Nope, perfectly clear.
Alright, I'm gonna walk over to the other pool. Is it pretty much the exact same setup?
Yeah, it's pretty much a mirror setup.
Yeah, there's nothing in them. But there are stairs leading down into them, so I'm guessing we have to go into one of these two.
I still have a hunch that we should be wary of the one to the west.
Okay. Since I'm standing next to that one, I'm just gonna like walk up to it and just dip my left foot in it, just like half of my foot.
Okay. It burns. No, I'm kidding. No, your toe's a little wet now.
Okay. I was gonna say is my new name 18 inches.
I say to Leo, is it cold?
I don't know. Is it cold?
Yeah, it's a little chilly.
That's a little chilly.
Because we don't really, I mean, we're not really feeling the elements considering that we're walking around naked for the last couple of days. Right?
No, it's surprisingly mellow temperatured here. So.
Alright, well, nothing happened.
Well, do we want to check inside the temple first? Was there, can we get in there?
Oh, you guys were in there. That's where you got your linens and where all the monks were.
It's like in the courtyard. Okay, it's not like a closed building. It's more open to the kind of courtyard there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, if you want to attempt submerging yourself, feel free.
Alright, I'm going to put down the linens and I'm going to drop the rocks. And I'm just going to walk in.
Okay. How far in are you going to walk?
Well, how wide is it?
It's a pretty decent size. This thing is probably about, say, 40 feet by 50 feet.
Alright,
So it's a fairly large pool.
Alright. Now, do the stairs kind of lead? Do they meet in the middle? So is it like a really slow incline, or is it just like a few stairs and then like flat on the bottom for?
No,
in the middle?
there's enough stairs so that it does go all the way down all 6 feet. So, but it's not like they keep going down until they eventually meet. It does flatten out on the base.
Alright, I'm gonna dive like headlong in.
Okay.
And just like swim, like open my eyes up and just like swim until like I hit the flat bottom, and then just kind of get up and go up to the surface.
All right, very nice.
Anything happen?
No.
You feeling any different?
Well, as a matter, so basically you swim down to the bottom and then you kind of just like let yourself float up a little bit, and you're floating on the surface. And as you're kind of floating there, just you're almost expecting something to happen. And you almost get this calm and soothing feeling as these calm waters just kind of bathe you and hold you almost. And for the first time in a little bit, you not only feel calm in your body, your muscles start to relax and everything, but your mind begins to clear a little bit. And it's almost as if you feel a blessing upon you.
All right. When I real quick, when I dove under the water, did I see anything, or was it just like, did I see anything that I couldn't see when I was out of the water?
Nope.
Okay. While I'm laying there, I got like this I'm blissed out. I just want to kind of like put my hands in front of my face and see if the water's affected them at all.
No.
Alright, I'm just gonna yell at him and be like, guys,
sure, if you spend another hour or so, they might start to get a little pruny, but that's about it.
Okay. I'm just gonna yell at him and be like, guys, you should come in here. This is very relaxing. I gotta admit.
I kind of screw my face up a little bit because this doesn't sound like the Leo that I've grown accustomed to.
This is nice.
Do you, not Agnum, What's your new name again?
You can still call me Agnum if it's easier for you, but my name is Dorian.
Dorian, right. Okay. Well, hey, do you think the water changed him? Because that doesn't sound like Leo. I've never known Leo to be relaxed ever. I mean, not since we've been together.
No, I would agree with you. Even in his moments of utmost faith, I would say that I've never seen him this tranquil before, and that's a little troubling.
Well,
That's a good word for it. Tranquil. I like it.
I mean, it could be a good change, right? I mean, maybe he won't be such a dick.
Hey, that's just like your opinion.
And I look over at Dorian like, wow, you see what I'm talking about?
I do. I had a feeling that the pool would have some sort of effect, but even I have to admit, this was not what I was expecting. I was thinking of something more negative, being that it's on the older side of the temple. It almost makes me wonder what the other pool might do.
Do you want me to go check out that one too?
Yeah.
Alright. Hold on. I'll be right there.
Why'd you suddenly become Matthew McConaughey?
I was kind of going for like I was kind of going for a midpoint between like the dude and Matthew McConaughey.
It's working. Go with it. I like
Nice.
it.
All right. I figured that's like the most tranquil thing that I could think of.
It's an excellent point.
All right, so I'm gonna like swim over to the shore
Mm-hmm.
and like
To the
climb up the stairs.
You
And
don't
I'm not
necessarily
even.
have to, because you get that channel that connects the two pools.
Oh, the channel actually connects the two pools.
Yeah.
Oh, booyah! I'm just swimming along that channel then.
There you go. Very nice.
I'm just like floating along,
Yeah.
not just kind of like taking my time, just yeah, and just making my way to the other pool.
All right. It's going to take you a little bit because it is quite a distance, especially if you're just floating.
Alright,
It's,
that's
you know,
alright.
fingers.
I got time.
Exactly. Time is on your side. So yeah, it takes Leo a little bit, but he eventually, kind of slowly swims/floats his way from one pool over to the other.
Spitting a fountain of water up, and then it's splashing my face, floating on my back. Telling you, I should come in.
So he finally reaches the other pool, and what happens?
He floats some more, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, I'm just floating.
There you go.
Am I still like tranquil and blissed out?
Yep.
Yeah, this pool's nice. It's comfy. I'm comfy.
Well,
Anybody got some bongos?
I'm going to turn to Marmalek. Marmalek, would you mind stepping in next?
Yeah, he should.
All right. Which one should I go in first? The side he's in now, or the side he went in first?
I don't know that it matters, right?
It's no
Dorian?
matter.
I don't think it does.
Either one
alright.
works.
As long as you enter this pool.
I'll go on the side that he's currently floating in. I'm gonna drop my my linen first before I go in, and wade in.
Wade in the water. Children. Nobody. All right. So,
How dare you
Apparently
sing the
none
songs
of
of my
you-
people?
wow. So
we can edit that out, right?
no.
Damn.
So Marmalek goes into the water. What exactly are you going to do? Are you going to dive in, or are you going to cautiously walk down the stairs and wade in gently?
Probably walk halfway down the stairs, and then just seeing that he's able to that he was able to touch bottom, once I get halfway down, I'll just jump the rest of the way in.
All right. So you jump in and you spend a few moments in the water. And I don't think Marmalek actually knows how to swim.
Nope.
So you flap around in the water for you, and you're like, "Shit, don't like that." And so you stand back up, and you're a few inches taller than the water is deep. So you can at least kind of get your head a little bit above the water, and you spend a few moments in it, and eventually the cool water does begin to have this calming and soothing effect on both your mind and body, as you do, just as Leo does, begin to feel the blessing of what you can only assume is the Raven Queen washing over you.
That I see what you mean, Leo. This is pretty nice.
Right on. Lay on your back. Just float.
I don't know how.
I'm gonna float over to him. Be like, just like this. Watch. Just float. Luke, I'll teach you.
He's going to attempt to. But can I do a float check?
You can do a swim check if you'd like.
Was that like sense
5.
motive on the water?
All right.
Thank you.
I'm guessing basically Marmalek's feet go about a foot off the ground, and he's like, "Nope, don't like that." First time that his head goes under. Nope.
You know what, Leo? I'm just gonna bob here instead. I think I like that better.
You know what you should do? You should float higher up the stairs and just sit on one of the stairs, lean your head back on the higher up stair, and just lay like
Hey, maybe I should, but
it's nice.
And Mom's just gonna look up to the other two. Like, you guys gonna come in, or?
Why don't you guys step out first?
No.
Why don't you guys come in first?
You should come in.
We'll
You should come in.
We'll go in. I'm sure that we all have to go in, but you guys don't seem to really be yourselves, and I'd much rather prefer it if you stepped out first and stayed out, so that I know if these waters have any adverse effects on our desire to progress forward.
Does Leo have any desire to like stay in the pool?
No, not
Like-
particularly.
Okay. Alright. Alright. I mean, no need to get all upset about it. I mean, this is, I'll get out. You can get in. Relax.
Hey, Dorian, they were both kind of dicks, and I'm just worried if I get in the pool, maybe the pool, if it reverses your personality, it'll make me an asshole.
Maybe it'll make you taller though too.
Hey, 3 feet, remember.
Hey.
Apparently your whole making you not a dick theory just went out the window.
You should get in the pool. You won't worry so much about your height.
Unfortunately, Galen, it seems like it's going to be a risk we're going to have to take.
Should we wait for them to come out first?
Oh,
That'd be
absolutely.
Okay.
And I'm kind of making my way up the stairs.
Right on.
And I'm going to hand them each one of the rolls of linen when they step out.
Okay.
Yeah, make sure to put this on so you guys don't get cold.
All right.
All right. You ready, Galen?
As ready as I'm ever going to be.
All right. I'm going to start walking down the stairs and making my way toward the bottom.
Okay. Real quick, Leo, Leo and Marmalek, what do you do with your linen, with your roll of linen?
I unroll it on the ground and lay down on it.
Okay. And it's about when it unrolls to about a rectangle. That's about, like I said, 2.5 feet wide and about 4.5 feet long.
All right, my feet hang off of it, but I'm comfy.
All right.
Marm's gonna just wrap it around his waist.
Okay.
Has my person has like the blessing, has the tranquility gone away at all since I got out of the water?
That's up to you. We'll say that as you get how about this? The feeling of tranquility and calmness is in the mind of Leo. So whether or not he chooses to hold on to that feeling or not is entirely up to him.
Oh yeah, he's totally holding on to it.
Okay. And the same goes for Marmalek as well.
Okay.
All right. So how about Galen and Dorian?
Stepping down into the water.
Okay. How is your approach? Are you just gonna kind of walk in and wade in?
Yeah, basically, see how my feet can touch the bottom. If not, I'll just float.
Okay. Yeah, your feet you're above 6 feet, right?
I think I'm 6 exactly, actually.
Oh, yeah, there you go. So you'll, it's not exactly 6 feet deep, so you'll be able to kind of, tiptoes and get your head a little bit above water, so you'll be fine.
All right. Just for the sake of, complete submersion, I'm actually going to dunk my head once I hit the bottom and then just pop back up.
All right, very nice. How about Galen, who is the only one that is not tall enough to stand on the bottom? You were the 10-year-old amongst teenagers.
Right. I wait for him to go down and kind of, step off the ladder, and I'm sort of following like a couple of rungs away. Mm-hmm. When he kind of jumps off and submerges himself, I come down the rest of the way, assuming he's going to come back up away from the steps. And does the ladder go all the way to the bottom?
Yeah, like I said, it's just a giant staircase that rings the entire pool. So, okay. And the stairs do go straight down to the bottom. So, if you were able to, you could just walk all the way down until you reach the bottom of this. Unfortunately, Galen is not. So,
so I walk down till I'm about waist. And then I kind of sit down on the step so it comes up to about my shoulders.
Nice.
And I wait for Dorian to come back up again.
Yeah, I'm not under for very long.
Yeah. Well, it's not too cold. I mean, it doesn't feel too bad.
No, it's actually very, very soothing.
Then he kind of, he lets his legs kind of float out a little bit. And he kind of puts his arms back on the step, and he's on his butt, so his arms are kind of up, his feet are kind of up, and he's just sort of chilling in the water.
Very nice. So yeah, once you guys spend a few moments in the water, your muscles begin to relax and your mind begins to clear slightly, and everything just kind of goes, and you just feel as the water kind of just silks over you. It kind of begins to just wash everything away a little bit.
Very nice.
So they weren't wrong. This isn't too bad.
No, I have not felt this relaxed in quite a long time since when I was part of the material plane in my youth.
You hear Leo just yell up to this guy, I told you.
All right, well, now that we're experiencing this sensation that Leo and Marmalek spoke of, we should get out as well so we can continue on and hopefully find our way to meeting the Raven Queen.
Well, I mean, we don't have to go right now, right? I mean, we can, we've been walking for a long time, and, hell, we were dead for a while, and maybe, well, I don't think we're dead anymore, but, I mean, we can relax a little bit.
Uh, bel Believe me, this feels wonderful, but we really should go. I think the longer we stay here, the more difficult it'll be for us to get out and to continue on.
Well, maybe. I mean, you know, but right now,
Oh, I think I'm going to get out. You can take another few minutes if you want, but I'm going to step out because this is just too much of a good thing right now, I think.
fine, man. All right, maybe you're right.
And Dorian's going to start to make his way out of the pool.
If he's coming up the same steps as you get a little closer, I kind of like roust myself a little bit, kind of like roll my neck and take my time standing up. I'm like, all right. Gonna follow you like a lost puppy up the steps.
All right.
All right, so you guys exit the pool, and I'm guessing you go ahead and grab your linens.
Yep, wrap it around my waist.
Very nice. All right. So yes, and so as you kind of begin to dry off a little bit, you can now see that and when you exit the pool, you exit facing north anyway, and so you can see that off in the distance there is a second pillar now that has begun to glow through the mists.
Uh-huh. Oh, that was not there before, so I believe we've completed our task here.
You really think it'll be that easy?
Well, hey, not every challenge has to be all mysterious and combat-y and stuff. Sometimes it literally is just having the ability to trust and take a risk without worrying about too much about the consequences.
I'm not going to argue if it's, I'll take easy when I can get it.
I mean, I have no idea if anything I'm saying is correct, but that looks promising. It's different than what was there before. I mean, we could always go and speak to the monks again. The last time we completed a challenge, that monk was more than willing to point us in the correct direction, so maybe these ones will do the same.
Well, maybe. Well, let's check the glow out first. I mean, it seems like that's where we have to go.
Yeah. All right, sounds like a good plan to me. Marmalek and Leo, why don't you guys get ready and let's head in the direction of that pillar of light.
All right.
I guess. Yeah. All right.
If you want, do you want to go talk to the monk first? Since we're here.
You know what? While we're here, we might as well, cover all our bases, make sure we don't have to backtrack for anything, and see if they'll be as helpful as they've been so far.
All right. You go talk to him.
Yeah.
I'll be right there.
All right. Yeah. Just don't get too comfy because we're going to be heading out in a minute, regardless of what the monks say. So, all right, I'll be right back. And I'm going to start heading over to the temple where the monks were.
Okay. So you go back over, and when you go back, you find the monks basically in the same situation that they were before.
All right. So I think we completed our task because now there's that pillar of light off in the north there. But if you guys could be so kind as to at least point us in the correct direction and make sure we're not, wandering astray, I'd be very grateful. Would you mind doing that for me?
All right, and so one of the monks stands up, not the same monk, a different monk this time.
Mm-hmm.
Stands and gestures for you to follow him.
All right, and I'm going to do so.
All right, and he leads you just outside of the temple,
Mm-hmm.
at which point he gestures to a long silver bar that is hung up, that is secured to the side of the temple.
Okay. How is this bar running Vertical, horizontal?
Horizontal.
Okay. Oh, it's a very fancy bar you have there. What should I do?
And so he kind of mimes to you, and he takes both of his hands and he gestures as if he's kind of laying something over the bar.
Oh, okay, I see. You want your linens back, don't you? All right, no. Here you go. I'm gonna whip it off and hang the linen up over the bar.
Okay.
You'll probably want those other ones back too, huh?
And he gives you a nod.
All right, you don't worry. You wait right here. I'll be back. I'll make sure you get your stuff back. I appreciate it too. Helping to keep us warm and everything. But wait right here. And I'm gonna start walking back over to the group.
Okay.
All right, guys. Before we head out, it looks like we gotta return those linens that the monks gave us. They are theirs. They weren't gifts to us. They were just temporary for us to use while we stepped out of the water to take care and make sure we weren't cold. So we got to give them back because the monks did ask for them. I guess with their hands kind of asking for them. But let's go give them their stuff back so they can point us in the right direction.
I guess since we're over here, this completely covers Galen. If it's like a 4-foot square, he's got it over his shoulders, just dragging on the ground.
Oh yeah.
He kind of swirls it off like a cloak and kind of shakes it out a little bit, and he's like, well, I guess, they could clean it, I guess, if they want. Walk over to where you are and throw it over the bar.
Leo's gonna get up and pick up the linen and walk over, and he's gonna kind of neatly fold it and drape it over the bar, and then walk over to walk right into Dorian's face and be like, I like you better like this, and give you like a little tap on the face and give you a thumbs up, and then start walking away.
Oh, I always liked you, Leo, except for when you were being a jackass to me. But yeah, even though that was most of the time, I still liked you. Even when my memory was all messed up. Even now, sometimes, it's rare, but, I still like... Actually, you know what? You're really not that nice to me a lot of the time, but I still like you.
All right. It's good to hear.
Yeah, right?
All right.
All right.
We should get going.
We should. Marmalek, how about your towel over there, buddy?
Arm's just looking back and forth from you two, and you can just tell that he's not feeling it as much as you two are. It's like, oh, yeah, sure, and he just goes and he tosses his towel near the others, and he looks at you two, and then he just kind of wanders off a bit, shaking his head.
All right, so I'm gonna go back up to the monk that was gesturing for the towels.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we've returned everything to you, and so what do we do now?
All right. So again, he beckons that you follow him, and he begins to walk towards the north side of the plaza.
And following.
All right. So walk. He finally makes it to the northern edge of the plaza, and at this point you can see now that there are 3 new paths that have opened up. There is a path that leads to the west that is made of kind of that same white stone as the one that led off to the north from the first temple.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are 2 paths that lead splitting into the north that are made of the same material or similar material that you guys were previously walking on.
All right, so which path are we supposed to take there?
And he kind of walks over slightly, and he walks to one of the north north. Why can't I get this word out of my mouth? Path. Jesus Christ. it stuck in my mouth. It wouldn't come out like peanut butter. Fucking hell. He walks over to one of the north paths that kind of breaks slightly to the northwest. and he gestures to that one.
All right, you know what? I appreciate the fact that you guys are leading us all over the place, but I gotta ask you, what's with the white stone paths? Like, why are those always different from the others, and how come we're not walking down those?
And he just kind of gives you a slight bow with his hands, placed in front of his body, and begins to walk back towards the temple.
Oh, okay, so we're back to that, huh? All right, man. Well, you helped us out, so appreciate it. Pelor will be with you, and or the Raven Queen, whichever one you prefer, or both of them. How about both? That'd be great. Double the blessing for you. All right, guys, let's go. And I'm gonna start walking down the path that he pointed to.
Okay.
When like the monk bows,
Mm-hmm.
Leo's gonna give like this big bow to him
Okay.
as well, just like matching him, and then follow after Agnum, Dorian.
All right.
Dorian the Agnum.
Exactly.
Booyah.
All right. And Marmalek said you were going to follow, and then I'm guessing that Galen is also going to follow.
Mm-hmm. He's also kind of, it's starting to wear for him a little bit too,
Right.
because Dorian and Leo are so not themselves. He kind of starts to lose it a little bit as the monk walks away. He kind of looks, from the monk back to those two, back to the monk, over to Marmalek, like, all right, one last wistful look at the pool, and then kind of trundles along with the rest of them.
All right. Very nice. And I will just say too, for mechanical purposes right now, if it does occur, for at least the remainder of your time at this area, you all receive a +1 to all saving throws, skill checks, and ability checks.
Nice.
Nice.
And I'll tell you when that ends.
Thank you.
All right. So you continue along the path that the monk pointed out to you then.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you continue on, and as you do, this path doesn't quite, twist and turn as much as the first one that you were on, but it is by no means a straight shot from one to the other. It kind of has this big looping turn to it and then kind of back up. And as a matter of fact, while you are walking on this for a couple of hours, it actually does intersect with the white path that you had seen. And as it, it just kind of goes and it fades off into the mist. And as you guys begin to walk now, just as before, you walk for now a few hours. It's about an hour or so after you intersected the white path. And as before, the mist kind of breaks around you. And suddenly a plaza with an enormous gate appears before you. The western building lays in ruins, while the adjoining section stands in clean white marble. You can see that most of the structure is uncovered, though you can see that the western section does contain small rooms or cells. Don't think of cells as jail cell, but more as like an open room.
Like a monk cell.
Yeah, exactly. They do have ceilings over the rooms, at least. So while the rest of the structure is open, the rooms themselves do have ceilings. And you actually do hear very clearly, though sporadically, the wails of someone or something, perhaps even being tortured. Or at the very least, you hear moans and kind of muffled screams.
Oh, I feel like that's actually going to snap me out of my mood of euphoria. And I'm actually going to start...
It's probably begun to slightly wane over the last few hours anyway, so...
Yeah, but hearing screams of like God knows what,
Indeed.
that's just gonna like completely just drop me out of it and back to reality.
Very nice.
I'm actually gonna start running off towards the direction of the screams.
Okay. They do seem to actually be coming from the area of the housing.
When Dorian takes off, and as you say, the stuff's kind of starting to wear off, Galen looks kind of panicked and kind of looks around for, like a big rock, another stick, something to defend himself or potentially, rescue somebody or help to defend Dorian or, something of that nature.
Okay. All right. So as you and actually does Galen still have his stick from before?
I don't remember, because didn't we have to climb or something? I think I wound up losing it at some point.
Yeah, that's right. All right. So yeah, you'll be able to find kind of at the very least like a larger rock that you could use as a weapon. So.
All right.
All right. And so Dorian begins to bolt towards the housing area. Galen behind him. How about Marmalek and Leo?
The screams of torture kind of snap Leo out of it as well, and I'm gonna look down and realize that I no longer have any of the rocks that I had been collecting, and try and like kind of look down at the ground and see if there's any like smaller rocks, and just kind of pick up like a couple and go racing off after Dorian.
Sounds good.
Marm will hear it and kind of perk up. Sounds like someone's having fun. And he'll go off.
All right. So you begin to run into this area of rooms, and when you do, like I said, there's no doors or anything on them. They're somewhat open rooms that you can see into, and they're very humble abodes. There's a single bed, looks like probably a straw bed, with one bureau that's got a few drawers in it for them to keep their linens and things in, and other robes, along with a few. Each one also has a few candles just for light, and all the rooms are empty of monks. It must be they're just not sleeping time. And so you run through, and there's probably about 6 rooms on either side down this small corridor. And suddenly it breaks into this larger room that's probably about 30 by 40. And when it does, you see that there's about 4 monks in just kind of spread out around this room. And each one of them has their robes taken down. They're all on their knees, and so they're bare-topped, and each one of them is flagellating themselves.
What race are they? Can we tell?
They all look pretty much human.
Okay.
You see that there's one that kind of looks like he could have some elven lineage, maybe. But they all look, for the most part, human.
So as we pull up and we see that, Galen kind of pulls up and is like, whoa, I'm not doing that. Is that what we're supposed to do over here? Because I'm not doing that.
I don't know, but the other monks were able to take time out of what it was they were doing to explain what we're supposed to do, so I see no reason not to interrupt these fellows, especially because this is just kind of disturbing in general.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Are the screams definitely coming from them?
They are. Now that you've gotten closer and gotten to the room, they are coming from them.
Okay.
And I'm going to kind of like sarcastically turn to Galen and be like, you want to take this one?
No. Hey, go ahead. You've been doing pretty well, so we'll just, let us know how it turns out.
Don't worry. Don't go far, and you'll see for yourself. And I'm gonna start walking up to the four of them.
Okay.
We're here to face the next challenge. If you guys would be so kind as to show us what exactly we're supposed to do, and please tell me that this is not it.
And unlike the others who at least showed you, the first temple that you were in, they kind of ignored you for a little bit, but they did show that they at least acknowledged your presence. And the second temple was fairly helpful. These ones just ignore you completely. Faces down, facing, they're kneeling, but they're kind of hunched over slightly so that they can get the whip all the way back. And they just completely ignore your presence.
I'm going to turn back to the rest of the group. Why don't we take a more thorough look around, see if there's anyone here besides these four.
And I will tell you too that other than the corridor that you came down from one side of the room, there is a large opening in the wall, basically like a large door. Doorless entryway on the opposite side.
All right, let's go and investigate that then.
Okay, well, we're following you. He looks back and kind of tries to suppress a shudder that the guy's still kind of whipping themselves.
Okay.
All right, so let's head back to that doorless opening you referred to.
All right, so you guys basically cross the room and walk out to the other side.
Yeah.
All right, so this basically leads to the back end of this large gatehouse type thing. The whole structure is kind of a horseshoe-like shape. So on the right side of it is the housing that you ran through, and now you're kind of in the middle section of it, in the top part. And this is a fairly wide open court area, and you actually see that doesn't seem to be any specific placement of them. There are 3 pits that have been laid into the ground.
Huh. Standing at the top of the pits, can we see the bottom?
Yes. They look, while they are somewhat deep, they look like they're probably about 20, 25 feet deep. And they're perfectly square, about 10 feet wide on either side.
Is there anyone or anything in them?
It depends. Are you going to check all of them out, or?
You said there was 3 of them, right?
There's 3. So
Yeah.
The first one that you come across, there is nothing in it.
Okay. Well, next one?
All right. Are you going? There's one that's kind of far off to your left, and then one that's straight ahead of you.
Whichever's closer.
All right. Probably the one far off. Actually, no. Probably the one straight ahead of you.
Okay.
So you walk over to that one.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
16.
Okay, so you kind of take a look down, and while you can't make out what's in the complete darkness, because like I said, it's 25 feet down, and there's not a ton of light in this area, so you can't completely make out the detail at the bottom, but you can tell that there is something down there. It looks kind of small, and what light is making it down is reflecting this kind of dark red back up to you.
All right. Is there anything in the room that I would be able to pick up, just any kind of object whatsoever?
Like what? Like a stone?
Sure. Yeah. Any. I'm looking to cast light on something.
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna grab a stone and not even letting you guys know what's going on. You're just going to see him pick it up, and he's going to look at it, and all of a sudden it starts to just glow with this bright light. And he's going to drop the stone down the hole.
All right. So it kind of clangs around a little bit and finally settles, and you can see now that the red that was reflecting the light back up to you is looks to be a carved kind of a head of a bird almost.
Marmalek, do you have any idea what this might be?
I'm gonna come over to the edge and look down as well. And can I identify, or do I know anything about the carving, or what it appears to be at least? Yes, I do. I know everything about it. Okay. So let me tell you, that is the bust of... no, I don't.
Did we lose Boos, or?
Yep,
we totally did. How deep were those pits?
20 to 25 feet.
Okay. Hey, he's back.
And I'm back.
Yay.
Yeah, that sucked. All right, so yeah, Marmalek goes over. Go ahead and give me a nature check.
Knowledge, nature, 18 plus.
Oh, gee, don't even bother. Then.
Wait for it.
37.
You're starting off with You're starting off with a 19 because you have that +1.
Okay, so then that's 34.
That was close.
All right. Yeah, so you can definitely tell that this actually is not the head of a bird, but this is most definitely a carving of a raven's skull.
Okay. And basically, there would be no symbolism that you could pick up on it or anything, other than it's the, Raven Queen.
It's a raven.
Okay. All right. Well, Dorian, it appears to be a raven skull, or carved to look like a raven skull. Maybe we should check out the others before we try to figure out what's important and what isn't.
It's not the worst idea I've heard today. All right, let's check out the other one.
All right, so you walk over. Oh, go ahead.
I was say, yeah, picking up another stone, casting light on that one as well, and then dropping that one down the last hole.
All right, so you drop this one down, and this pit, this hole is empty.
Okay. All right, so we have 3 pits. One has a carving of a raven head. And look at Marmalek. So, what do you got?
We could always try to get it. Dude. I don't... Hey, Leo, what do you want to do?
How wide did you say the pits were?
10 by 10.
Okay. Did we lose him again?
Probably.
No, I was muted.
You
It
rat
is 10
bastard.
by 10 by 25.
Jesus. Yeah, how would we go about getting that?
Did we see what kind of material it was made out of?
What?
Air.
The raven head.
It's red. It's hard to tell from this distance exactly what it is.
Crystallized blood.
Huh.
Don't laugh. I've seen sculptures made out of that, and it's disgusting.
Yeah, I know. I figured Raven Queen, probably.
Looking around, are there any is there anything we could use as supplies? Long poles or uh, ladders, rope, sticks?
Nothing like that really that you've seen. At the very least, nothing even remotely long enough to reach the bottom of this pit.
Okay, real quick, could Agnum cast light before? Did he ever do that, or did he just do this like cool little like fire thing?
Are you asking from a player point of view or a character point of view?
As like a player.
No.
Okay. Before Leo even like looks around, he's gonna be like, all right. When the fuck did you learn how to make rocks glow?
I can make anything I touch glow. It's one of the most basic things I learned as a cleric.
Okay.
Well,
Whatever.
didn't he glow all the time before anyway? Remember, he always used to like burst out in light and.
Yeah, but that was like fire. This time it was just like light.
That wasn't fire. It was divine healing light.
Well, is that the same thing?
No, fire hot, light good.
Okay, so you healed the rock?
No, that light that I put on the rock was just regular illumination. The stuff I use to close up your wounds and make you stop bleeding all over the place, that's divine healing.
Okay, well, I guess. So wait, did you learn that like after you died? You remembered that? You could do that?
Once I woke up here and figured out that I was back to my old self, yeah, I remembered I could do it.
Huh, okay, that'll come in handy.
Well, speaking of which, I'm going to grab another rock, light that one, and drop it down the pit that has the skull in it.
Do you remember being able to do anything else?
Oh, plenty of stuff.
Can you
I even picked up a few new tricks from my time in Elysium that I brought back with me.
Can you make rope appear or fly?
Nothing like that. That's more arcane than divine.
And anything useful that could help us get that skull
Well,
red thing out?
well, that depends. Marmalek, what material do you suppose that thing is made out of?
Oof. It's hard to say really from here, but if I had to make a guess, what would I say it would be, Jesse, based on
I don't know.
appearance?
Go take a guess, and I'll tell you.
Go take a guess. So, quick description of it again.
It reflects.
Red, shiny.
Yeah, it's red. It's not shiny so much as it is somewhat translucent and reflective.
Okay. Well, based on what it looks like, it could be one of the largest unpolished rubies I've ever seen, or garnet, or could be some sort of crystal, but I'd have to inspect it more closely in order to be able to really tell.
And I suppose that would be too heavy to float, huh?
Well, no, it's a raven's skull, so it's probably the size of your fist.
Yeah, but if it's actual like gemstone,
Hmm.
I mean, you know what? I can give it a shot. All right, give me a few minutes, guys. This could take a little while. I'm gonna kneel down next to the edge, and I'm going to hold out my hand over the pit, and I'm going to just continuously cast Create Water into the pit.
That's awesome.
So that's 8 gallons of water per round.
All right. All right. I'm gonna go on a stretch here, but I'm gonna say that stones and gems and things like that don't float.
Yeah, that's what I was.
So
When it gets like a couple feet deep,
yeah.
Oh no, I'm not even going that much. Like as the second it's like maybe like an inch or two above it, I'm gonna stop because if it's not floating at that point, it's not gonna
It's
float.
not gonna float. Yeah.
but wait a minute. How much of that can you make?
As much as I want, just like the ability to create light. It's a very basic spell that I was blessed with.
All right, so could you fill this hole?
Sure, it would take some time, but I could do it.
Because we don't have time. Fill it up like a couple of feet, probably like 5 feet, and then I'll jump in. I'll swim down. I'll pick up the stone, and then you fill up the rest of the hole, and I'll just climb out.
All right, well, I'm just going to keep filling it, and when it gets to the point where you feel safe jumping in, feel free. And, I'll make sure I don't, dump it all on top of you when you come back up.
Perfect. That works.
All right, let's do this. And I'm going to go back to casting water.
All right. I'm just gonna go take another leap of faith here and say that Leo will wait till it fills up enough that he won't smash his face on the bottom.
Yeah,
Right.
that's pretty.
Okay.
That's pretty. Yeah, I figured probably like 7 to 10 feet at
Okay,
most.
Because you said 5, and you were like 5 or 6, and I'm like, it's still a 25-foot drop. Like you're gonna hit bottom and hurt.
Yeah, no, I forgot that I was like 6 foot tall, 6 feet, 6.5 feet tall or something.
I mean, even if Galen jumped into 6 feet of water from 25 feet up, he's still gonna hit the bottom.
Yeah.
When he actually jumps in, I'm going to stop casting just to make
Okay.
sure he can get his ass back to the surface before I keep filling it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it'll probably take you a little bit, but eventually, Leo will jump in, and you'll easily be able to gain the skull. And so I will see that it's probably going to be a little bit as this fills up, and once Leo does drop in, he sinks to the bottom, and then when you reach and retrieve the skull, you're underwater, so you don't realize this. However, the rest of you, in a very similar time point as Leo jumping in, you suddenly hear this long and very mournful tone, almost similar to a funeral dirge that echoes through the temple. And it just kind of fades off.
I'm going to turn to Galen. Galen, do me a favor. Go check the hall where those 4 monks were and see what they're doing, if anything.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to go all the way in. I'm just going to peek around the corner.
That's fine. I just need you to check and take a look. I'm not asking you to talk to them or anything.
All right. I'll be right back.
All right. So as Dorian continues to fill the hole up, Galen, you'll run around the corner, and when you make it there, you kind of peek around, and you see that those monks are still filleting away.
I look at them
Flagellating
and,
away. That's
Yeah, I
filleting is
gotta
something
shake.
totally different.
Wow.
What they did?
I think we moved on to a different gate.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, they're still whipping
Freudian slip
themselves,
there, huh?
right? They're whipping it really good still.
So I look around the corner. I see that, and I kind of shake my head, and I'm like, "Ugh, all right. I run back into the room, and I'm like, nope, they're still at it.
Well, it would be nice to know where that sound actually came from.
Maybe we don't want to know.
Trust me, the danger you do know is better than the danger you don't.
Well, that may be true, but we're also defenseless at the moment. Or what if he lets it go and it settles back to the bottom there? Maybe Yeah, is it? I don't even know. Maybe it's supposed to stay here.
Has Leo surfaced at this point?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask that.
Boost, I think you're muted again.
I am. God damn it! Yeah, I doubt that. I doubt that Leo would spend any time kind of hanging out at the bottom of the pit.
Yeah, no, I would have like grabbed it and like swum up to the surface so I could get a good look at it.
You feeling okay down there, Leo?
Am I feeling okay down there?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, nothing happened when I picked up the rock that I could tell at all.
Nope.
Right.
Okay, I'm just gonna like float on my back then, and so I can like examine it without having to like really move my arms that much,
Like an otter.
like an otter. And then I'm gonna start like hitting it against another rock and be like, "Look at this, you dick, doesn't fit."
Wow.
Whatever, it's my favorite GIF of all time. Go fuck yourself.
No, so once you're up on the surface and you do have it on your in your hands, you can tell that it is a very smooth, polished, at least some type of gem or crystal.
It's a crystal skull.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
All right. So you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Just keep filming.
Did you hear that noise?
Could you describe this noise?
No. I'm gonna go back to fill in the pool.
Okay, then no, I didn't.
So filling. Galen, do me a favor and just keep an eye out in the area around here. If anyone comes into the room, let me know.
Oh, you got it. Don't you worry. I'm on the lookout.
All right. Then keep going.
Hey, Morm, I'll watch this way. You watch the other way.
That way?
Yeah, that way.
I guess. Okay.
And
Hey,
Okay, then.
do you have a rock? I'm not going to give you my rock, but maybe you want to grab a rock while you're watching, just in case.
All right. Well, I'm gonna look around for a rock and find one that's fist-sized, and just kind of hold it and hang out.
See,
And,
it's better
yeah.
with a rock, right?
It is very strangely comforting to have something in my hand.
Well, let's just make sure that that's the rock that's in your hand.
I have two hands.
Galen laughs out loud.
hey guys, a little less rambling, a little more watching, huh?
Yeah, we're watching. We're multitasking.
All right, just make sure you're keeping a good vigil for me.
Yeah, we got it.
All right. I think we're currently...
Fill in the hole. Put in some water to float Leo up.
Wow, really?
And Leo's up to the top.
Hey.
Or at the very least, far enough up now that that you can, help him get out.
I have really good timing.
Yeah, there you go. I actually waited till I got the B from you, so.
Yeah, I figured. I heard the song.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm gonna climb out.
Okay.
All right. So I'm just gonna kind of like hold it out for everybody to look at.
Galen's eyes go kind of wide. Ooh, shiny.
Yes.
And he starts to come back over towards where the pit is and not pay attention really anymore to what he was doing.
Nice.
Well, now that we actually have this thing, maybe we should see if the monks will speak to us.
Couldn't hurt.
Or, you know what? Why don't we take a step outside, see if anything's changed? Maybe there's a pillar of light somewhere now.
Maybe. Well, we have to go past the monks anyway, right?
Well, there's in this giant kind of gatehouse courtyard area. There are quite a few exits. So there's one that goes to the north, back to where you guys first came from, and there are also There's one to the east that leads to the other section of the temple, and there are two to the south that you can exit through as well. So you have your basically choices of direction, whichever way you guys want to go.
Well, we kind of have to walk past the monks a little bit, so we may as well take a swing in and see if anything happens.
Yeah, I can show them the skull, maybe. See if they do anything.
All right, I'll go in with you and just stand behind just to be sure. I'll keep guard over you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll watch just to translate maybe if necessary.
Okay. All right. So you guys kind of walk over to the room that the monks were in, and they still, despite the token that Leo is currently holding, continue to whip away.
Well, say something to him, Leo.
Excuse me. Does it mean anything to you guys at all? I got a red raven skull out of one of those pits.
And nothing.
All right. Nice talking to you. Are they facing towards me or facing away from me?
They're all kind of just facing in general directions. They're not, all gathered together facing in a specific point.
All right. I want
They're
to.
just kind of off on their own.
I'm gonna walk up to like the closest one to me, and I'm gonna actually like put the raven skull like kind of like in front of him.
Okay.
Are his eyes open?
No, he's kind of just, head down. Eyes are kind of fluttering, half in, half out, as he continues to wail on himself.
I'm gonna walk up to him. I'm gonna like poke him on the shoulder and be like, "Excuse me, I got a red raven skull.
All right.
Any ideas?"
You have some blood on your finger now.
I'm gonna take that blood and I'm gonna wipe it on the raven skull.
Okay.
Anything happen?
No.
I have a bloody red raven skull.
It's even more red now.
Nice. Bonus. Right, but nothing from him. I'm just gonna look at Dorian and I'm just gonna shrug. I don't know.
I'll shrug back. All right, let's head outside, see if anything's changed.
Go.
All right. So, what direction are you guys gonna head then?
That way.
Son of a bitch.
Outside.
Do we see anything when we go outside? Like, is there a glowing pillar or a
Depends.
path
Pick,
that...
pick a direction
okay.
first.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I have a feeling we should be going through not the way we entered.
Right, because we came in from the west, right? And that was all
Well, you
broken
came in
down?
through. You came in. Yep, that's correct.
So we should probably go through to the other side. If you're what you were saying before, Dorian, is true, then we need to move forward.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Actually, I'm sorry. You guys came in through the east side of this temple. So.
Well, moving through nonetheless. I think yeah.
All right. So in that case, you exit through kind of the southwest door or gateway.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So in that case, there is a path there that heads off into the west, but kind of west-southwest. And also, too, as you do step out of the temple and kind of take a look around a little bit, you can see that to the north there is now a third glowing light in the distance.
The two paths that you mentioned is
The one path.
I thought you said there were two.
No, one. There's one that goes south-southwest.
Well, this wasn't here. Well, I guess it wasn't here before. I don't know, but I don't see any other possible way to go.
Real quick, you asked me if I heard a noise.
That's right.
Yeah. What was the noise?
It sounded like a wailing almost.
Okay. You sure it wasn't just one of the monks whipping themselves?
This was different from the noises they'd been making.
Yeah,
I
the
even had
timing.
some-
The timing seemed kind of odd.
Yeah, this happened as soon as you went down and reached for the skull.
Huh. So maybe that signified that pillar.
Maybe.
Well, there's only one path, so it makes our choices easy.
Marmalek,
Yes.
why don't you go ahead and give me a geography check?
Geography check. Okay. Let's see. Uh-oh. 18.
18. What, do you have like 1 point in that?
No, I have 14 points in that.
Oh wow.
+1,
Oh, okay. So
so 19.
+1.
All right, still. So you guys are over at this western path now, and Marmalek kind of takes a look around a little bit, and he's looked at the new light off in the distance to the north and everything. You're kind of, and how they're saying, this is the only path that's leading through and everything, and you're kind of looking and you're like, something doesn't click with the direction that you guys have traveled thus far. It almost looks like if you were to take this path, that it would be very circuitous. The way it leads, it looks like it kind of just leads back down to where you originally started.
I think we might need to look for another path because this doesn't. I don't think we're headed in the right direction.
Why? What's up?
Well, it seems kind of like we'd be headed back down towards where we started, which is not what we want to do.
Well, do we want to head back to the path that we came here from? Maybe something's opened up there, and this is just one of those like stray paths that we're not supposed to take.
Yeah, let's go back and look for another path. There's nothing that we can see that we saw on the way that might have been a hidden path or anything, right?
Not that I could tell, but then again, I wasn't really looking for one.
Yeah, let's go back to just a little bit and look for a better path.
All right.
All right.
So-
So which direction are you guys gonna head then?
Is there a way around the temple, or do we have to go in through it?
No, the whole place is open around, so you can by all means walk around the temple walls. It's fine.
All right. Leo and Marmalek, why don't you go off in one direction? Galen and I'll go in the other, and we'll meet on the other side.
Well, this path is more going to the west. Why don't all four of us just head around to the kind of east side, since we've been heading east this whole way?
Wait,
No, you're.
I don't. All right. No. You guys were heading west and came to this temple from the east side. So you haven't really been. You were heading west from the first gate from the first temple to the second temple, and then from the second temple to this one, you were kind of heading more west.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought we headed east from the first temple.
Yeah, that's what we
Yes.
said.
That's what I just said.
Oh. So I thought you said we headed west from the first temple.
No,
Okay.
you headed west from the second temple.
Oh, okay. Alright, well then never mind. Just kidding. Yeah, splitting up sounds like a good idea to me.
All right. Let's go ahead then.
All right, well, just keep your eyes peeled then. If there's going to be more than one path, we're going to have to. I don't know how we figure out which one. These guys won't talk to us this time.
Well, Marmalek's already figured out that this probably isn't the correct one. Up until this point, there have always been multiple paths, and one has been made out of white marble, and they never had us take that one. So, you know what? I probably shouldn't even speculate right now. Let's see what we can find first, and then we'll work all that out.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. So what group's going to the left and what group's going to the right?
Galen and I'll take the right.
All right. So you're going to go around the back of the temple then?
Yep.
All right. So you guys walk around the back, and as you do, you kind of circle around, and then you come back up, and then you hit the same path that you entered this temple at. So I'm guessing that you guys are just going to kind of continue to walk around then?
Yeah, because we're eventually going to meet up with them.
Indeed. That you think of. No. And so, meanwhile, so Marmalek and Leo then will head to the left and to the top side of the temple. And when you walk around, you kind of hit the top of this horseshoe layout, and when you kind of run around the corner, you in fact do see two paths that lead from it to the north. One white and one that darker gray.
These paths look a little better to you, Marm.
A little bit, yeah. Let's wait for the others and see if there's anything else.
Alright. And I'm just gonna kind of sit there and stand there and kind of check out the skull some more.
All right, very nice. All right, so soon enough, Galen and Dorian will curl around, and you'll meet up at the top of this temple then. And at that point, Dorian and Galen, you guys can see the two paths leading up. There's a white one on the left and a gray one on the right, both leading north.
Well, there's that white path, but we're not taking that one, right?
Well, that's been the trend thus far. Marmalek, we didn't find anything, so these are the only paths we've come across, I'm assuming. Do either of these paths look like they would be, I guess, the right way to head?
Based on where we've been moving and where we want to head, new geography check, or would I be able to just say yes or no, Jesse?
Yeah, just go ahead.
Okay. I mean, this would be a more proactive direction, I believe, a more forwardly one, as opposed to one that would kind of come back towards where we had been before.
All right, but so we're all in agreement that we should probably stay away from the white path then, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it seems that way.
All right, well, it's unanimous, so let's head down this other path then.
All right, so you guys pick the gray one and start heading north?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So in that case, these two pathways do run parallel to each other for at least a little bit of a distance until the one you're on starts to kind of break away a little bit and curve east. And I'm guessing you guys are going to still stay on it.
We are indeed.
All right. So at this point, you guys travel for a couple more hours, and again, the path that you're on, this one is a little, again, even a little more straight, not as windy, other than, it is taking this very kind of large turn as it goes. And after another hour and a half, it does intersect another white path. And then after about another hour after that intersection, there is another break in the fog.
And do we see a temple?
All right. So while you don't necessarily see a temple, you do find yourself outside a walled courtyard. This is a very large area with an equally large building that sits in the middle of it, while you can see that there are, and I'll tell you too, you are entering this area from the west, from the left side of it. So you can see that while there is this large building that sits in the middle, there are two large and gnarled trees that have grown near the front, near the south corners of it. And there also are two smaller buildings that sit themselves in the top north corners.
Well, this is a little different.
Are both trees like the same kind of tree?
Yes, they're this kind of, they are, dead, just like most are, or they're at least giving off that perception that most of the foliage that you've come across is, and these are a bleached white almost, yet they're gigantic as opposed to all the other trees and bushes that you've come across thus far.
Alrighty then.
And we don't hear or see any monks around? Okay. Well, perhaps we need to enter the courtyard. There have been monks at all the other buildings. Maybe they're inside waiting?
It's as good a guess as any.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time.
And you actually do see that there is a gateway a little bit down from you, set into the wall, that you'll be able to enter in.
Do we have to walk like in between the trees to get to where the buildings are?
No, you're entering from the left side of this right now, and so the west side, the west wall, and the trees are set in the south corners.
Is that wall itself dilapidated at all, or no?
No, the wall itself looks to be in fairly good condition. It's not perfect. It is old, very old, but it's standing fairly well.
So I look over at Dorian and I go, if this is the west side, and I'm not sure, you tell me, but this doesn't look as ruined as some of the other temples that we've been through.
Marmalek, you seem to have a pretty good spatial awareness of where we are and how we've been traveling. Does this area keep up with the trend of one direction always being the old side and the other direction always being the new side?
He's gonna kind of point around and like, well, and then I'm going to have to ask Jesse because I am personally having a mind fart right now.
Well, I'll tell you the other three temples that you've come to, like Dave or Agnum, Dorian has pointed out. It is thus far been the western side that is more dilapidated and run down, and the eastern side that is pristine or more well kept. And thus far, at least from the exterior, there is no sign of that reoccurrence at this temple.
This place looks a little bit different. Doesn't seem to follow suit, but we can still press on, and worst case we're in the wrong spot, we turn around maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Just keep going.
I'm assuming we could always backtrack. We haven't tried it yet, and to be honest, unless we absolutely have to, I don't think it's a good idea that we even try to test that idea. So yeah, we may as well just keep pushing forward and see what's going on at this one.
How far? You said that the trees are in like the southern, like the southeast and southwest corners of the place. How far away are we from like the southwest tree?
Quite a ways, probably about 80 to 90 feet away.
Okay, so from this distance, would I be able to see if there's anything like carved into the trunk of the tree at all?
Well, you guys are on the outside right now, so unless you actually go inside and investigate that, you won't be able to tell.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I say we I say we keep going forward then.
Do we want to head into anywhere in particular, or?
I mean, might as well check out the tree that's closer to us first, and then head over towards the buildings.
All right.
Be my suggestion.
I'm sure you'll probably know more about the tree than me, so let's go check it out then.
That was my thought.
All right.
All right, so you guys head in through the wall then, through the gate, into the main courtyard?
Yes. Yep.
All right, so you head on in, and it's taking, Leo taking the lead now a little bit. You begin to make it towards the large tree that's closest to you guys. Leo, want to go ahead and give me a nature check?
25.
Nice. All right, so exactly how close are you going to get to this tree?
Probably, I don't know, 30, 40 feet.
Okay. So I'll tell you, as you guys begin to get closer to them, you can see that these trees have taken up possibly a little bit more room than they were originally intended to, as the area surrounding them almost looks like tiles or flagstone has been pulled up as they've continued to grow and expand, to the point where they are now taking up kind of a pretty significant portion of this corner of the courtyard. So as Leo, you begin to kind of get a little closer to the tree, you can actually see that while it does look bleached and it does look like it's kind of on the outs or dead, the roots that kind of bulge up from the ground at the base of this tree and expand out, still they don't look withered. And in fact, you can actually see that spread out on the ground a little bit, very sporadically, is the occasional petal.
What do you mean petal?
Like as in a flower petal.
Huh. What color is the petal?
It's kind of this lightish blue.
Looking up at the tree, do I see any petals on the tree still?
You can make out there are, as opposed to the mass of this tree, there are now a couple of flowers that you can spot towards the middle or end of a branch. So they're, while a tree such as this size should probably hold thousands of flowers, this one holds 2.
Alrighty. Is there anything carved into the trunk at all that I can see?
No, not that you can make out.
Alright. I want to, when I walk past one of the petals that's on the ground, I want to pick it up.
Okay.
And feel it.
Okay.
Does it feel like it's been there for a long time, or that it's freshly dropped from the tree?
No, it feels fairly fresh, at least the last couple days or so.
Alrighty then. Alright. Yeah. Alright, well, I'm good. You guys want to head towards the building? See if we can figure out what the hell we're supposed to do here?
Yeah, if you've discovered nothing, then we may as well.
Yeah, nothing yet. It might come in, might be useful knowledge later on, but as of right now, there's really nothing.
So they're just dead trees then?
It's actually not dead.
It's everything else is dead, except maybe for us.
It's fairly dead, but it's not completely dead. And I'm gonna hold out the flower petal that I picked up and be like, "Look, it's still flowering."
Huh.
Do you think it wants some water? He's gonna look at Dorian.
Leo, what do you think?
It's not like it's gonna hurt it. Sure, give it some water.
All right, so I'm gonna reach my hand out towards the trunk of the tree
Mhm.
and cast I'll just do one hit of water on it.
Okay. And so as the water kind of soaks into the ground and everything, the entire tree sprouts to life.
And attacks us. Roll initiative.
I'm joking. None of that happened. There's a little bit of mud around you though now.
Well, there you go, tree. Drink up, buddy.
All right.
And just completely randomly, I just want to walk up to the tree and knock on the trunk and just
Okay.
kind of laugh to myself a little bit.
Aww. Nice.
Leo just kind of looks at you weird.
I'm gonna look back at you, just like smile and shake my head and like just gesture with my hand, like don't worry about it. Like having a good laugh to myself.
Dude, I just have to say, side note, most meta in-joke ever. Alright,
Yes.
so yes, go on.
Alright, so you done knocking on the tree?
Oh yeah, it's still sleeping. Let's go.
Jared, you don't really know much about trees, do you?
Trust me, Leo. I know a few things that you probably have no idea about.
Okay then, so onto the building.
Let's go.
And I'm gonna stop making my way over to the building.
Alright, so now you can see that this, now that you're kind of on the southern side of this, near the tree, you can see that there is a staircase that juts out from a large opening at the south side of the building. There's kind of this platform that comes out with stairs on all three sides of it, leading up into the temple. All right, so I'm guessing you guys make your way into the temple then.
Mhm.
And so as you do, you walk in, and there you are greeted with 2 rows of these very large marble columns that run from south to north, basically looking straight out. And you can see that on the far other side of this temple, there is another doorway that leads out to the north side. And running perpendicular to you, kind of in between each column, is a large, probably 8 to 10 foot long stone table with various candles placed along the length of them to kind of light the entire area, as well as there also being candelabras on the walls with candles lit to also give you some illumination.
No people at all?
Nope, completely empty.
Is there anything else on the tables besides the candles?
Nope.
Is there anything on the, hidden around the walls, like books or anything?
No.
Do you think? Well, is there anywhere else to go in here? Maybe they're sleeping or taking dinner. Although I haven't seen anybody eat, I guess, and I don't really feel all that hungry myself.
Well, weren't there other buildings outside?
There were 2 buildings, each nestled in the corner of the northern wall.
Oh. And did you say there was an opening on the other side of this room?
Yes, on the north side.
Right. Well, we can always check through there, but if the entire place appears to be empty, we could always look at those other ones.
I suggest the other ones. See if we can find anybody in them before we continue through.
Okay. All right. No, if that's what you want to do.
All right. So then I take it you guys are gonna continue and go kind of through the building into the north.
Actually, apparently we're heading back out the way we came in.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I
we
got
had to.
confused.
Well, no, because you said the other two buildings. Would we have to continue walking through this room, exit out the entrance and the exit on the north to get to those other two buildings?
You can get to it however much you want. They are to the north, so you could either just walk straight through this temple and exit the north, or you can exit through the south and walk all the way around this building to them. It's really up to you. Depends on if you want to be inside or outside.
Oh, okay.
It
All
doesn't
right, cool.
does not matter.
Okay, I was just trying to get like the layout. All right, well then, you know what? Why don't we just walk through the north exit and then just go check out the other two rooms?
Oh, that sounds like a great plan, Leo. Glad you thought of it.
Well,
All right, so you guys go to the north.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna kind of shake my head at Leo and then start heading north.
Okay. So you guys walk through the building, exit through the other side, and you come out to the north side of this courtyard. And what you see are two almost mirror identical buildings. Both of them are rectangular. They sit on these platforms that are probably raised about 10 or so feet off the ground. Each of them have staircases that face each other, so they run from the west side and the east side. And the buildings themselves are probably about 50 to 60 feet on each side, and stand probably about 20 or so feet tall. And they do have entrances, again, at the tops of the staircases leading to them.
Cautiously approach the steps and kind of look to see if we can, kind of pause, see if we can hear anybody. Kind of
All right.
like before.
While you can't hear anything, there is kind of this dull blue flickering light that emanates within both of them.
And I turn and I look at Dorian and I go, is this magical fire or is this divine energy?
That's a good question. I don't know. Typically, divine energy is in the form of just light, whereas, you know what? This is not Pelor's fire. So until I have the chance to inspect it personally, I'm not gonna be able to answer that question.
Well, then after you. And he'll just kind of cross his arms and stand there and wait.
Oh, you're so kind, and I'm gonna kind of do like a little mocking bow and walk in.
All right. So Dorian is walking into one. Is Galen going to wait outside while, kind of keep watch or something while Dorian is inside inspecting?
He would probably follow close. I don't know that he would go
Okay.
into the building, but he might follow up the steps and trail and kind of poke his head around the corner.
All right, that works. How about Marmalek and Leo?
Leo's gonna follow Dorian
Okay.
in.
Sounds good.
Seems.
All right. So all of you walk up the staircase to, let's say you go to the left one.
We go to the left one.
Yep. So you walk up the staircase, and Galen kind of stays close outside, peering around the corner, and the rest of you enter. And you can actually see that in the middle of this room, of this building, is basically an altar of the Raven Queen. And on top of it, it stands probably about 3 or so feet tall. And on top of it is a small brazier burning this blue flame, which is giving light to the entire area. And because it is lighting up the entire room, you can see that every wall is lined with bookshelves and scroll racks and are filled to the brim.
Ah, shit.
They go, what? What is it? And
We're
then
gonna-
get a little closer. We're like, uh-oh.
We're gonna lose Marmalek in a minute. All right, you stay here. We're gonna go look at the other places.
Yeah, he kind of stretches out a little bit with his puts his arms back, does a little couple of rotations, cracks his knuckles, and just kind of walks off and completely disregards anything you say.
If of all things, it had to be a library, didn't it?
Well, there's no way that this could be any way related to the library, could it?
To be honest, I'm honest, and I really am not sure.
I mean, I have no idea, but I mean, it just seems weird that it would be books, right?
Well, I don't know, to be honest. I don't follow the Raven Queen. I've never bothered studying, the habits of any of her followers or anything like that. In Elysium, we had no need for books. Knowledge was shared, stories were told, and songs were sung. You didn't read books; you lived the stories if you chose to.
Interesting.
So let's leave him here to, do his thing, and let's go check out the rest of this place.
Well, are there any other rooms in this building, or is it just like one big room?
Yeah, it's just one giant open area.
Okay. Well, there's not very much left to explore. We'll just check out that other building.
Yep, that's the idea.
All right, well, let's go check it out.
All right.
Alright.
Leo, you coming with us, or you staying here with Marmalek?
I'm gonna stay here with Marmalek. You know him. He doesn't notice anything when he's sucked into a book, and I'd rather not leave him here defenseless.
All right. Well, if you run into any trouble, just yell as loud as you can, and we'll come running.
All right, will do.
All right. And shall we then, Galen?
Yeah, let's go check it out.
All right.
Shouldn't take long.
All right, so we're gonna head out.
All right, so you guys are basically going to go down the stairs, across the back of the courtyard, and up to the second set of stairs?
Correct.
All right. So you walk up the short flight of stairs, through the doorway, and into a very similar building. Same type of altar in the middle with the brazier and the blue flame. And this one as well is just lined with racks and shelves full of books and scrolls.
Maybe we shouldn't tell them about this one.
Well, I would agree with you, but the fact that there seems to be no one else here, I don't know what we're supposed to do. Unless a secret is somewhere in one of these books, the only option left for us is to, check out and see if there's a path somewhere.
But we'd have to do something first, right? I mean, we haven't had a path just open up for us until we've completed some sort of task.
Well, that has been the trend so far, but we've always had at least some indication of what we're supposed to do, and so far we've come across, an empty hall with pillars and candles, and 2 smaller buildings with books and scrolls everywhere. So, I mean, I'm gonna walk over to the wall and take down one of the scrolls.
Okay.
I'm gonna unfurl it, and see what's written on it.
All right. It is in a scripture. It's kind of this runic writing that is pretty much impossible for you to understand.
I I'm actually going to cast Read Magic on myself.
Okay. What's that do?
Hang on. I'm going to pull it up right now. It's the wrong thing. I'll make sure I'm not misquoting this. Okay, you can decipher magical inscriptions on objects, books, scrolls, weapons, and the like that would be otherwise unintelligible.
All right.
Hmm.
Not bad. In that case, give me... Oh, you breathed?
It says, furthermore, once the spell is cast and you have read the magical inscription, you are thereafter able to read that particular writing without recourse to the use of Read Magic. So basically,
now,
once I've read it, I know it.
Okay, not bad. All right, Dave.
Yes.
Want to go ahead and give me a... So we're going to do a series of rolls here. Go ahead and give me a 1d3.
D3. Are we dividing, or are we doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
However you feel like doing it.
Okay, well, I rolled a 6, so that
Okay.
would be 3.
All right, then go ahead and give me a d100.
Okay, 41.
41, nice. All right. All right. Hey, that gives me no information.
Do you need me to re-roll?
No, that's fine. It's just this stupid thing was supposed to be something, but then it wasn't. Trying to find something cool for you, but it's not working.
Figures.
Screw it. All right, you know what? Oh, here we go. God, why can't they make this easier to... No, that still does nothing. All right, screw it. Give me a 1d4.
Okay. 2.
2. All right. All right. So just so I can run it through my mind again, your Read Magic basically allows you to read the magical language and understand what it is.
Yes, this deciphering does not normally invoke the magic contained within the writing, although it may do so in the case of a cursed or trapped scroll.
Makes sense. All right, so you basically unfurl this scroll and you start to read it, and you know, after deciphering everything and it kind of coming into view, you do understand that this is now a ritual to cast the Soul Guard spell.
Okay.
And I can give you a quick rundown of what Soul Guard is if you'd like. Once it loads, it's basically anytime somebody is knocked unconscious or would possibly die, they instead regain life, so they'll regain their hit points equal to their hit die, basically.
Okay. That's if they're unconscious but not dead.
Yes.
Okay. How many more scrolls are on the walls?
There are hundreds of scrolls.
Jesus. Okay. I'm going to turn to Galen. And just kind of like look at him and be like, I kind of understand why Marmalek would be interested in staying here.
Well, what did you find? Can you read that thing?
I can understand it, yes. I'm able to read certain things that are written magically, like the scroll. Essentially, this will make it so that if anyone is on the verge of death, it will be able to bring them back before their spirit leaves their body.
Huh. Well, that's pretty cool.
It is, and it actually makes me wonder what else is in these two buildings. Perhaps a scroll or a book does contain the secret of where we're supposed to go. But to go through all of this would take, I don't even know how long. We would be here forever.
Yeah, I don't know if I like the sound of that.
Nor I. It's very tempting, believe me. I've never seen a cache like this before, even when I was in the world when magic was everywhere. Clerics typically didn't carry things like this. But let's go meet up with Leo and Marbleek. Maybe he's a faster read than I am, obviously. Maybe he's discovered something already.
Okay, yeah, well, make sure you take that one and let them know what you found. Do you think that's something that we could take with us? I mean, we took that little skull, right? I mean, it doesn't seem like we're being prevented from taking anything.
No, there's definitely no one here to stop us. I don't know. It seems weird that there would be a building that is just there for absolutely no reason. I feel like we're missing something.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way. Do you think that maybe we took the wrong path coming out this way?
It's possible.
I guess there's no way to know, right?
Unfortunately, no, because up until that last path, we always had someone indicating it to us the correct way.
I would say we should sleep on it, but we don't really sleep here.
Well, let's go. Let's meet up with the other two and let's confer with them and see if anyone else has an idea of what to do.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, so I'm gonna take the scroll with me and we're gonna head back over.
All right. So as Galen and Dorian leave the building, you step foot on the opposite side, so you cross the threshold of the door, and suddenly, almost as if from the spot that you stand, there's, I don't want to say a burst because it's very gentle, but there's a slight silver glow that begins to light the entire courtyard.
Huh.
Uh-oh. Maybe you weren't supposed to take that.
Or maybe I was. Remember, everything we've encountered that's been different has always been, promising in some way. So hopefully this is a good sign. Hopefully.
I hope so.
All right. As we stand there, does the glowing intensify? Does anything happen?
No, it just kind of settles into the area.
All right. I'm gonna start walking out again, like further away from the building.
All right.
Nothing?
Nope.
I want to take a look around, like on the horizon. Has another pillar of light appeared anywhere?
Yeah, sure. You're actually high enough that the wall is probably only 5 or 6 feet above you, so you can kind of see off in the distance. And in fact, you can see that there is a fourth pillar that has shown itself. Not only that, but you can also see that there are 2 paths that run to the north. A gray one on the left and a white one on the right. That kind of run parallel to each other until they fade off into the mist.
Now, that's a familiar sight.
Yeah, but what are the odds that you grabbed the one scroll that would cause those things to appear with the thousands and thousands of scrolls that are here?
Well, I have a theory, but you might not like it.
Oh, I don't even like the sound of it.
Well, now mind you, this is just a shot in the dark here, but I have a feeling that we're preparing, or we're being prepared for something big. We came to terms with our deaths. We've been cleansed. We now have some sort of object that comes from this world. I have a feeling that whatever it is we're working towards, it's allowing us to stay here for a little bit to give us the opportunity to prepare ourselves, maybe to either defend ourselves or keep ourselves going so that we can see this through to the end. So it might actually be worth our while to stay for at least a little bit and look at particularly some of these scrolls, figure out what they're capable of doing, so that should the need arise, we'll be able to use them to either defend ourselves or to keep ourselves alive.
But we don't really have a way to judge time while we're here. Who's to say that whatever it is that we're preparing for, if it's happening in the real world, doesn't pass us by while we're here reading scrolls?
Oh, you're right. Time does move differently in other realms when compared to the material plane. For all we know, it's been millennia since we left Ildarin.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, like you said, time sometimes moves differently. We don't know how long we were under that ice, and even if we knew how long in relation to us we've been under there, there's nothing to say that a minute here couldn't be a year there. We have no way of knowing until we get back, if we can even get back at all.
So I hadn't thought of that. We could be gone for millennia. You think?
It's possible. We could.
I mean, it's potential.
Yeah, I mean, we could end up. Say we ended up returning to that world. For all we know, we could be in a world that it was no longer ours. That everyone who was alive at that point could be dead and gone, and we wouldn't know until we got there.
Well, that's a lot to take in. I mean, I was just thinking, like, we couldn't judge a couple of days at a time. Not that, we could be gone for lifetimes.
Well, it's probably best if we don't speculate about that. Like I said, we're not going to know the answer until we actually complete this mission. But I think that's part of the reason why we shouldn't waste any time here, or at least as much as possible. Which is why I think we should look through these scrolls and books as quickly as we can without ripping through everything, and try to get together a small inventory that we can all carry ourselves and be able to take with us should we need them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much help I'm going to be, but I mean, I guess I could kind of watch out while you and Marmalek read. Maybe Leo and I can find something else to do.
Well, if you guys want to grab scrolls and start bringing them over to us, we can take a read through them. Or, I mean, heck, there's nothing to say that some of these scrolls may not be in a language you guys could actually read. But if not, and if there's, an abundance of scrolls and that you have some time, you might be able to crack open one of the books and see if you can find something in there, too.
Yeah, I mean, we could give it a shot.
All right,
if you think this is the best.
To be honest, I'm just I'm planning for the worst. For all I know, this is just the Raven Queen's way of showing that we can trust her because she's allowing us to take things out of these libraries. I have no idea what's actually going on.
That makes two of us.
Well, I mean, that's just my opinion on it. I think we should prepare as if though we're heading toward a battle.
Well, I guess that's probably not the worst attitude to take.
All right, let's head back over and we'll talk with the two of them, see what they think.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna head back to where Leo and Marmalek are.
Alrighty.
And just to save some game time, can we just assume that that's all been dictated back to the two of them?
Sure.
Okay.
Were you guys listening?
God,
For the most part.
All right.
Yeah, pretty much.
So what is Leo? I kind of have a grasp of what Marmalek's going to be doing. What is Leo going to be doing in this time? Before the return of Dorian and Galen.
Leo is basically sitting on the ground, sitting on the floor, which is like just kind of leaning up against the wall, just kind of watching the entrance.
Okay.
And blatantly ignoring Marmalek.
All right, very nice. Marmalek. So I'm guessing you're going to be looking through all the scrolls and books and things. Just taking a wild stab out there. Why don't you go ahead and give me a quick perception check?
Quick perception check. 23.
All right. So you're kind of clawing through these books and scrolls and such, and thus far nothing has really caught your eye too specifically. There's a lot of knowledge here, and there's a lot to take in. But I'm guessing you probably want to get a general inventory of the area first. So you're kind of just quickly perusing over everything, not really attempting to take anything in quite yet. However, there is one item that really catches your eye, and it's a book. This heavy leather book, this thick cover, that has these kind of archaic symbols on the front. And when you open it and start to kind of flip through the pages, you recognize it as containing the ritual for basically a way to travel through the planes. And within the book, it contains a few key markers. In particular, it contains the sigils, which you need for travel, to Svomarana, which is something that you haven't heard of yet. Actually, no, you have. It's the name. It kind of rings a little bit bell, and it's actually the name of the weird ghosty illusion lady mentioned. So it holds the sigils for Zomarana, for Sigil, which from your knowledge you know as the City of Doors. And it also holds the sigil for Pluton, which is one of the layers of the Grey Waste, also known as Hades.
All right. So the book I will put on one of the tables in the center so that I can go back to it and really take a full inventory of it later.
Well, the only thing in the center, just to let you know, the only thing in the center is that small shrine, the altar with the brazier on top. There's no temples. There's no no tables in this room. All the tables were in that large main temple room that you guys walk through.
Okay. Well, then I will just walk over and hand it to Leo and say, "Hold this."
Okay.
Could be important. You can read it if you want, or just look through it. But I'm gonna go back and keep going.
All right, you do that.
Okay.
All right. So
as soon as he turns around, I'm just gonna put it on the ground next to me.
All right. So we'll say that that Marmalek continues to look through when Dorian and Galen come back and discuss their plan. So fast forward a quick bit of time, and plan overgoing ends. Commence.
All right, so what do you guys think?
Yeah.
All right, so so Leo, you and Galen start bringing scrolls over to Marmalek and me. We'll start going through them, take an inventory, figure out what we should bring with us, what we should leave behind, and if you come across any interesting books, let us know if you can read them or not, or if they just look like they might be important. We'll figure it out from there.
All right. Yeah, that works. I mean, we're not going to be able to carry all that much.
No, which is why we need to, figure out a couple of, maybe 3 or 4 that we can each carry with us. Galen, maybe not so many.
I could carry 3 scrolls. What the hell are you trying to say?
I don't want you to be completely unable to defend yourself if the need should arise. You're going to need another an arm free to at least use a scroll.
Oh, I mean, I have my rock.
Okay, yes, you have a rock.
Well, I mean, I probably fight better with a rock than a scroll. You're the magic guy.
Yeah, that is true. Well, we'll figure out how we want to transport these once we get a good idea of what we're actually working with.
All right, yeah, fair enough.
All right, let's get started.
All right. So, how much time are you guys planning on spending here?
Let's say like a half hour. It shouldn't take us that long to figure out what the scrolls do.
Okay. Well, because there are thousands, probably in each room.
Jesus.
I mean, like I said, these are 50 by 60 buildings. So 50 feet by 60 feet, 20 feet tall, with bookshelves and scroll racks covering every single bit of every wall.
Christ.
So there is a shit ton of stuff here. Like, this is something that a person could spend their lifetime reading through.
All right, let's grab the first 10 scrolls.
Okay.
Just any 10, whatever, just like the closest ones, or if they look pretty or whatever. Just grab those and let's see what those do.
Okay. So let's go ahead and then I've given a little bit to Dorian, and I've given a chance to Marmalek. So let's go ahead and give Leo and Galen. Why don't you guys go ahead and give me perception checks?
Alrighty. Oh, Jesus, I rolled a 1.
Wait, are you shitting me right now?
What'd
No.
you do?
Well, I'm gonna.
Totally rolled a 1.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
I want a fate spin.
Do
So,
it.
so I take a look, and I'm like, well, I don't know. There's a lot of freaking scrolls around here. And then I kind of I look again, and I'm like, oh, maybe there's like a label, or maybe there's like a Dewey Decimal System or something. And I kind of, give it another look, and I rolled double 4s.
Nice.
So with a 7, that's 11.
All right. So you're looking around and you're like, all right, yeah, I guess I'll grab this one and this one and this one. So you grab a few of them and you're just like, I guess he'll like these. And you go ahead and take those back to whichever one, probably Dorian, since you've been hanging out with him a little bit.
I'm like, here you go. I found these couple. They look as good as any of the other ones.
Thank you.
And what about Leo? What'd you get?
8 total.
8 total. Wow, you guys are awesome at this.
Mhm.
Right?
So you take a look around, and you're basically in the same boat as Galen, except I think that Leo actually cares a little bit less about it. So you're just basically like, these ones.
Yeah.
And you kind of just grab a handful, and you're like, here.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
Cool. Alright, so what do we got?
So you look through them, and there is nothing really magical about these. Mainly, these are you get one book that's kind of a history of a monk's lineage. You get another one that's kind of the almost like the Adventures of the Raven Queen type thing. You get one that actually looks like an inventory of souls, and it's all kind of that somewhat similar mundane material.
All right, I'm gonna kind of like sigh a little bit and look at Galen and Leo. Either we really did luck out and find the one scroll we were supposed to, or this one scroll is the only thing we're supposed to take with us.
I guess that's possible. I mean, if that's the one we're supposed to take and you just happen to find it, then maybe that's just what was meant to be.
Well, the paths did open, so I would venture a guess and say that maybe that really is all we were supposed to do, is just find this one scroll and take it with us. And maybe we're not preparing for a battle. Maybe we're supposed to be using this on someone else.
Yep. I mean, that's, it's just a good as description or whatever as anything else.
All right then. Well, let's go take a look, see if we can figure out which path we're supposed to take. Marmalek, I know it's going to be hard to pull you away from here, but why don't you grab a book just to kind of occupy yourself, and let's keep going. Marmalek?
I think he's reading.
You should just take the book away from him.
Al, are you actually here? Or?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to double check. So I'm gonna walk over and kind of tap Marmalek on the shoulder. Hey, you with us?
Well, we're all here, so yes, I am.
Yeah. We think we're done here. So grab a book, bring it with you. We got some paths we need to check out, and we're gonna keep moving forward.
All right. How many did you read?
Books, none. Scrolls, about 6, 7.
Okay. That's good, I guess. All right. Can we each carry a book? Are we all gonna have books? What's the plan?
Yeah, I'll grab a couple of books for you, Marmalek.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah,
You
Leo
do,
will hold on to the books for you. Then we're gonna figure out where to go.
Okay. And Marm is actually going to. The scrolls all have bindings on them, right? Little strings and such.
Oh, yeah, most of them are in like leather scroll cases anyway. So.
Okay. All right. So he's going to roll basically take as many of them as he can, roll them a little bit more tightly, and fit them into one scroll case if he can.
Okay.
So he has an extra 14 or whatever.
Sure.
Whatever will fit.
I'm
He'll agree to leave.
gonna take the magical scroll and hold it out to Galen.
Mm-hmm.
Here, you hold on to this.
Okay, well here, let me, does it have its own scroll tube already or no?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm like, alright, well here, let me, grab one of those other ones, or here, I'll grab it. And I just dump the scrolls out, and I'm like, I'm gonna put more rocks in here.
Are you keep holding on to those for later, or are you starting a rock collection? What are you doing?
What if something attacks us? Throw rocks at it. I mean, what the hell else are we gonna do?
You know, if there's one thing I learned from my time in the living world, it's that throwing rocks at things often end in bad things. But you know what? If that's really the only way you have to defend yourself. So that's fine. Let's go with that.
Well, I figure it can't hurt at this point, right?
Oh, you have no idea how much throwing rocks at things can hurt you.
More ultra meta. Sorry, go ahead. Go.
I'm not, it makes me feel better.
Okay. Then by all means, if you feel comfortable doing that and that's what you want, go right ahead. Don't let me stop you. But let's not waste too much time.
Okay, but I'm ready to go. You're asking me all kinds of questions.
You're right. Okay, let's go. All right, and start heading out toward the paths that we saw open up.
All right. Marmalek, real quick, go ahead and give me a 1d10 roll.
1d10.
Al?
Yes. Did you? Oh, I said 3. I'm sorry if it didn't come
Yeah.
through.
Nope.
You
Didn't
must have
come
been
through.
muted or something.
There you go. All right. Very nice. Okay. So you guys then walk, around the courtyard, outside the gate, and up around to the north side of the wall where Dorian spotted the 2 paths.
Mhm.
All right. So, like I said before, there are indeed 2 paths leading from this area. One gray one that runs off to the kind of the northwest, and then it seems to have a pretty decent cut to the west. Whereas the white path seems to pretty much run straight north.
What do you think, Marmalek?
I didn't find the special one, so I mean I think you should. What? And he looks up from what he's reading, not really paying attention.
Well, the trend so far has been not to follow the light-colored path. We seem to be following the gray one. So, anyone object to?
Have you noticed? Have we gone in each of the cardinal directions already? Like, did we go east and then west and then south? Do we want to go north?
No, you
I
actually.
wasn't.
Sorry, just to cut in really quick, you had from the first temple, you headed east. From the second temple, you kind of headed northwest. And then from the third temple to this one, you kind of headed northeast.
Okay.
Just to give you a layout.
Yeah. I mean, he wouldn't have really been paying any attention.
Yeah.
So, gray path?
Sounds that way.
Leo, what do you think?
Yeah, that it makes sense.
All right. Yeah, never mind. Let's go.
All right, so you guys can begin to take the gray path then?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mhm.
So you begin to walk, and as I said, this one does, almost immediately it does seem to kind of cut up more northwest. And as you're walking, it does very quickly kind of continue the curve until you're traveling practically completely west to now all of the glowing lights that you had lit up, the 4 lights, are spread out to your right side, so to the north. You walk for probably about a half hour, 45 minutes, and you run across a crossing where one of the white paths crosses in front of you, running south to north. You walk for about another hour and a half or so, and you run across a second crossing where another white path crosses your gray one, going south to north. And then even less time, probably only after about 15, 20 minutes, you cross a third one, running again south to north. And after about 10 minutes or so that you cross this third one, the path begins to make a curve, and it begins to run south.
And you said the pillars are actually to the north?
Yep. So now all the glowing pillars are behind you to the north.
And we passed 4 crossroads.
Well, 3 crossroads.
Okay.
The fourth one was
South.
back at the it was back at the 4th temple.
Okay.
Quick question.
Yes.
Is the trail that we're going on, is it going fairly straight, or is it possible that our path is going in like an S and kind of recrossing over the same white path?
No, it's not a complete straight line, but it is running pretty straight. There's no time that you double back.
Okay. All right.
So it's a definite that you crossed the other 3 white paths.
Okay.
4 lights, 4 roads leading north, 4 of us. That doesn't seem like a coincidence to me.
Well, I mean, 4 that we've seen so far.
Well, do you want to go back south, away from the pillars, or...?
Well,
I don't know.
maybe the Raven Queen is giving us an opportunity here by showing this path over and over again that we're supposed to be on the white path?
Or maybe it's a test to see if we'll just take the easy path or stay on our true path.
Well, that could be too.
I mean, we have to pass all the tests or whatever the hell we're supposed to do before going there. So if we just take one of the white paths and go straight there, we won't go through everything that we need to do.
It's true. And there's no guarantee that reaching one of those pillars will actually be beneficial.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let's follow along this path, and Pelor willing, if we absolutely need to, we can come back here and do differently. But for now, let's keep going.
Pretty sure Pelor willing, we'd still be alive. But anyway.
We are anomalies in the land of the dead. We have been told that we do not belong. So I would not knock the will of Pelor currently.
Okay.
All right, so you guys begin to travel south then along the road. So this one does wind slightly. It has a curve to it every once in a while, but it does continue on its way. And you walk this road for several hours until eventually it does kind of begin to take this very big left turn. And almost immediately after you finish taking this turn, the fog breaks, and you are back at the first ticket temple.
Well then, there is a white path here at the temple, right?
There is. It runs north.
Well, rather than going along in that circumventing path, we may as well go along the white path and go back to the intersection.
That makes perfect sense to me.
Anyone else?
I guess it can't hurt.
All right, let's get going then.
All right, so you guys decide to take the white path.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a fairly rough path. It's more so that whereas the other one was kind of a flat flagstone, this is more of like a packed gravel. Although it's like white stones. So it's by no means treacherous or anything like that. It's no more harder to walk really. It's just a different material. And so as you're walking it, it takes you several hours, and eventually you do cross the gray path that you were previously walking on, and all the while getting a little bit closer to the glowing pillar. And eventually you do make it to just outside the radius of this pillar, and now you get a sense of why you could see these through the mist and from so far away. The pillar that confronts you rises probably a good 90 feet into the air, and at the base is probably around 20 or so feet wide. And it just gives off this glowing, silvery, brilliant light that just cuts through the mist.
Is there anything in the area around the pillar?
Nope, it is just the pillar standing there, and basically the path that you're on runs right up to the pillar, and then you can actually see that it continues along the other side, running north.
Hmm. Marmalek.
What do you think?
Marmalek, have you read anything about the Raven Queen that might give us an idea of what these pillars actually are?
Where are we?
I'm gonna walk over and snatch the book out of Marmalek's hands. Hey,
Oh shit!
hey, focus. Have you read anything about the Raven Queen that would give you an idea of what these things are?
I mean, I've read a little bit, but you just took the book away.
If you can help me out and tell me what you know, you will get the book back.
You're reverting back to Agnum douchiness. It's nice. Jesse, have I read anything recently about that stuff?
No, nothing that you have read. Everything that you've read so far, including the book that you're reading right now, is more of the minutia and the day-to-day dealings with what the Raven Queen or her associates go through. You have not read of anything about Zvomarana or pillars or temples or anything like that.
Okay, and nothing from the other side I remember either, correct?
No, actually, when you came to this plane was the first time that you ever even heard of the Raven Queen. So.
Okay. No, I don't. I haven't read anything about pillars or anything. But I mean, if you give the book back, maybe there'll be something in there about it.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna hold the book back out to him with the page open to where he was reading.
Ah, thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Give him a pat on the shoulder and turn back toward the other two. All right, so that was useless. I have no idea what these things are, but obviously there's no other direction to head in than further north.
If that's the way it seems like we need to go, then we'll just. I mean, it doesn't really give us any other options.
Yeah, and I'm sure as hell not touching that light or going anywhere near it. And Peller only knows what it'll do to us.
I couldn't even begin to imagine.
Well, weren't there other gray paths that we haven't taken yet? We could always try one of those.
I suppose we could.
I mean, that's one option. Or we can just keep heading north and...
I think we should keep going with the initial plan, which is push forward until we have a reason to turn back.
And if this is the wrong path, then they wind up just taking us back to the temple again. That's already happened once.
True, but thankfully we know our way around enough that we can get back if we need to. It'll take time, but we can navigate pretty well.
Yeah, that works.
All right.
All right, so north it is.
All right. So you guys continue on north then to the other side of the pillar, and you continue on. Now, I would tell you right now, the other three pillars, there is one pretty much almost right in front of you. There is one almost right to the right side of you, so one to the north, one to the east. And then there is one kind of to the northwest. So what seemed like four lights kind of gathered when you were back at the temple, now you can clearly see are four lights that are fairly distanced from each other. So as you begin to continue along this path, it begins to kind of bow out slightly so that it goes around the pillar that was in front of you. However, soon after probably another couple hours or so, it actually meets up with another white path, and they join up. And the one that the new path that it makes continues on north.
Okay.
So I'm guessing you guys are going to continue north then along that path?
Yeah, but real quick, I think we're going to start running out of white paths eventually.
Oh.
I think there's one white path for each of the pillars that we've lit up, and until we light up the rest of the pillars, we're going to run out of white paths once we get past the 4th pillar.
Or we may end up coming to this person we're supposed to be meeting up with.
Possibly. Do we know how many pillars there are?
Well, if I remember correctly, the one we spoke to said there would be 9 challenges or 9 circles we had to move through.
So does that mean we need 9 pillars?
Well,
And we can keep walking until we run out of white paths, and then we'll definitely know.
yeah, because for all we know, there may be more challenges on the other side of these pillars. We don't know yet.
Maybe. All right. Well, let's keep going then.
All right. So you guys begin to walk, and within a decent amount of time, your path merges with another path that kind of comes up from the southeast area. And once these two paths meet in almost a perfect joining, the path that's created from them is a little bit wider and runs almost perfectly straight north.
Well, that looks promising.
Possibly.
It may lead us to another temple.
Very true. All right. Well.
Galen,
Yes.
how's that tube of rocks looking for you?
I kind of sling it down. I give it a little bit of a shake. I've been picking up rocks big enough to fit in the tube, but I'm not trying to fill it with pebbles. I'm trying to get something a little bit more substantive. If it'll fit.
Indeed.
So I just give it a little shake, and I'm like, not too bad, I guess.
Are they a different color than the ones we've been walking on?
I wasn't really paying attention to the color, so I uncap it and I pour some of them out into my hand. Are they all the gray of the path that we've been on, or whatever color we've been on now?
Yeah, whatever you want. If you wanted to pick up the white stones, then you can. If you wanted to go off the path and pick up some regular pebbles off, or regular rock off on the side, then you can do that too. It's basically whatever Galen decided to pick up.
I'm pretty lazy, so I would just probably pick up whatever's right on the path.
There you go.
Alright, so they're all the same color then.
Yeah, they're all the same.
Alright, never mind. I was gonna see if you could mark our trail for us in case we needed to backtrack. We know what direction to head in next time. But never mind. We'll just have to keep a mental note.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you knew where we were going.
Yeah, we're going north.
Well, okay.
Alright, well, do we want to jump onto this other path and see about this one?
It's worth a shot.
Like I said, like we've said, if there's any reason to turn back, we always can. But the gray paths seem to be the way to travel for the most part, and if there are supposed to be 9 challenges, hopefully this will lead us to the next one.
Makes sense. And I'm guessing Marmalek won't have much to say, right, Marmalek?
Hmm?
Yep. Exactly. Glad you agree.
Well, maybe trying to find the right path is one of the challenges itself.
It's a good possibility.
Who knows, maybe lighting up all the pillars, maybe lighting up a whole bunch of pillars is just one challenge.
Or for all we know, they're just playing with us.
Also true.
All right. Well then, let's jump on this path and see where it leads.
Good to go.
All right, so you guys take the north path then.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you begin to walk on the northern path, and you walk for probably about a little under an hour. And like I said, this path is a little bit wider than the rest. It's probably about 10 to 12 feet wide, and runs, pretty much straight. And so as you're on this for about an hour or so, suddenly you step through the mist, and you are confronted by the fifth temple.
Yay.
And we're going to go ahead and end it there.
Yay.
Yay.
Yay, Fifth Temple.
Good times.
Feels like we made some pretty good progress.
Yeah. 3
Yay.
temples down.
No thanks to Marm.
You did a good chunk.
You give him books, and he, no.
Yeah, as soon as I heard, books on the wall, I'm like, son of a bitch.
Yup. So when do you guys play the main campaign again?
Tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That should be fun.
We need some
Indeed.
big XP numbers. Gotta get me a new level.
Oh, that'd be nice.
It would.
Wow. Boo's already jumped out.
Wow. I know they want XP. Fuck them. Let's go.
Nah, he said that he'd do like a good chunk later. That already dropped. Who knows?
He might have dropped again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, when there's not something to kill, sometimes it's not quite as easy to figure out what's going on, especially from a, even if, like, we know what's going on from a character perspective, it's kind of hard to, move things in a certain direction.
Well, that's the thing. We're really just speculating on what's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
All right. So since we're
Oh, hey. What's going on?
my thing froze for a little bit. All right. Since we're after session, and I allow a little, because I know you guys don't metagame, allowing for a little bit of after session. Hey, do you guys know what's going on? Type thing. Who exactly remembers what you were supposed to do here?
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
My recollection is that we're supposed to be going through these 9 challenges to meet with someone who would be able to potentially grant us access to meeting the Raven Queen.
Okay, where did you get 9 from?
I don't remember.
You said something about the 9 circles, or the 9 gates, or something like that.
Yes.
And then there was something about first thorns pierced, deadly visions, and then it went on from there, and I stopped writing. So that didn't help.
Great.
Wait, so you actually have a note down for something about 9?
Yeah, 9 circles, and then the first
okay.
is thorns pierced, deadly visions.
Okay, so I
Yes.
was right about the 9 circles. Okay.
You were right that she said 9.
Yes.
All right. I'll give you guys. No, so it doesn't matter at this point in time,
Okay.
which is why I feel okay with going over it. So let's see. Let's see what she says.
Oh, do you actually have like her spiel?
Yeah, I do. I have it all written down.
Nice.
So she says the monks here shall guide you through the first 4 of the 7 veiled gates of fate. So it wasn't even 7, it was 9. I mean, it wasn't 9, it was 7. And she says, as you pass these tests, the fate pillars of Zvomarana will glow, only visible to you through the mists. You must come to me in the inner sanctuary, and then this is the part that Marmalex stopped writing, or that Al stopped writing. Pierced by thorns, deadly visions, bathed in holy water, raven skull, and holy writings in hand.
Oh, well, son of a bitch.
We got all 4 things.
All right, so we have the 4 things we need. We just need to do 3 more gates.
Nice.
Well, we bumbled our way through that pretty effectively.
We're awesome without even realizing we're awesome.
To be fair, that's what you guys also did last campaign, so it totally
Yeah, well,
I need to start like
up until
writing.
the very end.
I should start taking notes.
the thing is, I actually have like a notepad game sheet, but I have it like primarily like little things like Zvomarana to the south. Dorian had a death vision. You know, things like that. Like I don't really take detailed notes. Now I'm gonna. Because
I have been, but all the stuff that she said, I did the same thing that Al did. I started writing it down, and I was like,
This doesn't matter. I think it's
It was more
hilarious
like-
that all of you stopped writing at the important
exact same time. Yeah.
Well, I think what happened was you just started talking and you got excited and then you talked faster and I was like, I'm not gonna ask him to repeat it.
You can always ask me to repeat anything you feel is worth repeating.
All right, good. Son of a bitch.
Good times.
Aye.
Yep.
So, how's that XP count looking for us?
Yeah, I'll tell you next session.
Oh, you bastard. Speaking of which, are we doubling up again because of now offsetting it, or?
Yeah, so what we'll do, so as I hope the 2 of you remember, we have our session tomorrow.
We do. We were discussing that while you were away.
Okay, very nice. So we have the session tomorrow, so what we'll do is we will play next week, and then that will create the offset.
Okay. And then we'll do next week online, and then we'll go back to every other week.
Yep, that is correct.
Cool.
Yeah, I was kind of the entire time when you guys are doing like, I guess we kind of don't know, and I'm like back here, I'm like, why aren't they listening? Yeah, it was funny.
Oh boy.
Yep. Although
Yeah.
all right, so I took not most of it. I'll say probably about 80% of this I took from the guide for the Shadowland, for the Shadowfell.
Uh-huh.
So there's just remind me. You probably won't. I might remember. Who knows? There's something weird that I probably should have corrected, and I don't know why they didn't. And I bet it would have. Well, it doesn't fix something, but it doesn't make sense in when you add everything up. So, but I don't want to spoil it now because you guys aren't done yet. So, I think I'll make a mark for myself so that I'll remember it.
On my game sheet, remind Boost, there is something weird that he should have corrected, and he doesn't know why they didn't. Doesn't make sense. Needs to be corrected.
There we go. I like it.
Okay.
All right. On that note, it's almost 2,
Holy shit! Yeah.
and I still have to go to Walmart to buy milk so I can have breakfast tomorrow morning. So
just have toast.
yeah, I've had English muffins the last. Actually, fuck it, I'll do it this day too. English muffins 3 days in a row.
And
English
I-
muffins are good enough to have 3 days in a row.
I need to go get milk too. I'm just too lazy to go do it.
It's been a long time since I've been on Obsidian Portal. I'm not a big fan of some of these changes.
Really?
Yeah.
What changes?
Just like the whole like layout and like editing the characters and stuff. It was like a lot more simplified and streamlined before, I think.
I like it. They originally had an idea of like on the fly changing, where it wouldn't bring you to a whole new screen, and I do not know why. It had to have been something with the coding that they just weren't able to do that, which is really unfortunate.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm a fan. I like it.
Cool.
I kind of whatever.
Right.
I don't even remember what it used to look like at this point.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
But yeah, I should probably go to bed so I can be up in a couple hours for work.
Exactly. I'm going to sleep as well.
Hopefully, I will know what that feels like again very soon.
Yay! All right. Well, you guys have an excellent night.
Oh, thank you.
And
You too.
as well.
And Al, have a good day. And Al's already gone.
Al
Fuck
is gone.
Yay.
Fuck him. Fuck Al. I don't wish him a good day now. I wish him a bad day.
Yeah.
All right. You guys have a good night. Talk to you later.
You too.
All right. Night.
Bye,
All right,
guys.
see you guys.